G'day, legends. Trent Belasco here. Really excited about today's session. So our session today is called the seven-figure plan, how to break through seven figures a year in your advice or expertise business in the next 12 months. Now, I've been taught to be cautious about how I use the word advisor or advice. So to clarify, if you're an advisor, consultant, or you provide expert advice as part of your service delivery, then you're in the right place. And this plan is designed to help you break through or add another seven figures to your business in the next 12 months. Now, I don't know where you're at right now, and we'll get into you and your situation in just a second. But here's the deal. There's so much confusion about what it really takes to grow and scale online these days. So many different voices, and rather than just get overwhelmed or chase shiny objects or get pulled this way or that way, what I want to do today is just to show you the quickest path, the proven roadmap to a seven-figure advice-based business, okay? Now, the key is to structure and leverage the advice and insight you already have within your organization or just in your own head. And that's why we call it the seven-figure advice plan. This is the plan I've developed over 20 plus years in this business, helping many of the world's largest brands, as well as brands of local advice and consulting businesses, to implement the ideas that I'm going to share with you today. I'll share a bit about my background in a few minutes, and you can decide whether I'm worth listening to. Now, first, there's one thing I really want to know about you before we begin, and that is, why are you here today? And before you answer, let me give you some context. At one end of the spectrum, you may want to generate a strong flow of new business opportunities for your current bricks and mortar one-to-one business model. At the other end of the spectrum, maybe you want to transform your entire business model so it's more digital and more scalable. Or you may want somewhere in the middle, a hybrid model, clicks and mortar, with a bolt-on digital revenue stream for your current advice, consulting, or expertise business. So just type in the chat, what are you looking for? What are you here for today? And where are you on this spectrum? Just put it in the chat for me. Okay, great. Oh, a bit of a mix. Excellent. Okay, well, the good news is the plan I share with you today works across that spectrum. Now, I plan on having a great time, and I invite you to do the same. We have some workshopping to do today, which will likely be some of the most valuable work you've done towards scaling your advice business to seven figures. We'll start the workshop in about 5 minutes. Before we begin, let's get the most out of this session with what I call the three grabs. Grab number one, grab the tools, something to write on, something to write with, and something to drink. Tea, coffee, juice, or water, preferably not alcoholic, though it's probably after 5 for some of you. Grab number two, grab some you time. Protect this you time fiercely for the next couple of hours. Put anything that pings, flashes, knocks, nags, or vibrates on silent, and give yourself uninterrupted time focused on you and your future. Grab number three, grab hold of these ideas. Commit to implementing at least some of the work that we do together today in your business so you see the ROI on your time today. Now, speaking of ROI, I'm going to bring everything I can to this workshop, and I want you to get everything you can out of it. And that's why we're both here. So with that idea in mind, let me ask you, what's the one emotion that you could bring more of right now to help you get everything you can for yourself out of this workshop? Is it more curiosity? Is it more passion? Is it more determination? Is it more playfulness? Type your answer in the chat box. Let's get some interaction happening. What's the one emotion you could bring more of right now to help you get everything you can for yourself out of this workshop? Okay, some great selections here. A lot of emotion. Fantastic. Fantastic. Great. Thanks for engaging with me on this. Now, to help you get a better idea of what you need, tell me this. What's the hardest part for you about growing your advice, consulting, or service-based business right now? Just type it in the chat box. Let's get an idea of what people's challenges are. Okay, a lot of these I see consistently. They come up time and again. And these are exactly the sort of things that we're going to be addressing, and you'll get you'll get some great solutions. Now, one last thing before we start, let's talk about our style today. Now, I'm enthusiastic because I'm passionate about this topic. And after seeing the results time and again over a couple of decades in digital marketing, I know the impact this can have on your business. There's a lot I want to share, so I may speak quickly with my mixed accent, part English, part Aussie, part American in there. Please bear with me. Now, I like to make these sessions interactive, not because it's trendy, but because it's more fun and it lets me tailor content a bit more to your needs. So if I ask a question, please engage by typing your answer in the chat box. Is that okay? Can you just type, yep, if that's good? And on that point, can you please make sure your camera is on? It's so much more engaging when I'm talking to actual people and faces rather than just a wall of black squares. Do you know what I mean? So please, if you're going to join me on this workshop, do me a favor and be here on camera with the rest of us. Now, with that in mind, this might be the only time we ever get to work together, and I really want to make it count for you. So I'm going to go full pace, squeeze as much insight, ideas, and value in as I can, and it will be a lot. So I'd invite you to take the very best notes. You can use your handout here or a pad, whatever you like. Just make sure you capture as much as you can. And in case you miss anything really valuable or want to rework some of this stuff on your own time, at the end of the workshop, if it's helpful, I'll tell you where you can get a copy of my notes. And at the end also, I'll show you where you can go to get some more help around this stuff if you want it. Is that cool? Just type in yep if that's okay in the chat. Awesome, fantastic, thank you. Now, we're going to do a big Q&A section at the end, so do type in your questions as we go through. I'll answer them as quickly if I can, but if we can't get to them during the session, just ask your question again at the end, and I'll make sure that you get an answer then. Oh, and by the way, throughout the workshop, when you get a nugget, a takeaway or aha moment, I'd love you to share it with us, and just type in the chat what your takeaway is. So, that being said, let's get started. Let me bring up my deck here. Stand by. There we go. So, welcome to the seven-figure plan. Seven-figure plan. Welcome to the seven-figure advice plan, how to add $1 million to your advice or consulting business in the next 12 months. Now, in order for you to get the most from our time together, there's a handout that contains all the plans and worksheets for today's session. Hopefully, you've already downloaded that. If you haven't done so already, you will want it during this workshop and for reference afterwards to give you the roadmap. Please download that now so you can make the most of our session. We'll put the link in the chat right now, just so you can just click on that if you haven't already downloaded. Okay, great. Now, as I promised, a bit of background on me, and I'll keep this really quick. So, early career as a journalist, master's degree in journalism from UTS University, had several years working in the ABC TV and radio newsrooms, creating news content, then shifted into PR for a couple of years, where a lot of my work there was around capturing the expertise of my clients and using it to create articles and press releases to get journalists interested enough to write about them. And then I shifted into digital advertising, first as a copywriter, then digital strategist, and then finally as a consultant, teaching what I'd learned to large corporate teams and advising clients how to dominate in the digital space. I'm fortunate to have spent a couple of decades helping the world's biggest global brands and many smaller companies to dominate their markets online. Ultimately, I specialized in financial services, particularly banking, insurance, and various financial and professional services. Now, you may be thinking these are all huge brands with huge budgets. How will this plan work for my small business on a tight budget? The good news is I've also helped hundreds of smaller advisors and experts as well. And many of the core strategies work no matter what size you are, because we're all using the same internet to appeal to the same human drivers. And to prove this, I'll be sharing case studies throughout this workshop, not only from some billion-dollar brands that you'll recognize, but also from some small advice and consulting businesses and startups who've applied the same strategies and seen increases of up to hundreds of % in traffic and conversions and profitability using the same strategies. Now, beyond that, there's another aspect of my career that really helped me create this program. You see, for a number of years, I owned and operated my own advisory business. In 2014, I founded Belasco & Co., a private art investment office in Mayfair, London. It was a passion project that turned into a business alongside my digital marketing. I specialized in art investment and ownership structures using special purpose vehicles, or SPVs, and I built great working partnerships with high net worth service providers, so financial advisors, accountants, lawyers, insurers, family offices, lenders, and wealth funds. Over time, something dawned on me. I realized that these very different career paths had actually given me one unique insight into how the right digital marketing can help scale an advice offering. So I merged my two passions and created the plan that I'm going to share with you today, a very clear blueprint for you to structure your advice for digital delivery and scalability, and then a plan for you to leverage the best digital marketing strategies to share your advice with a much larger audience to play a much bigger game in your market. Does that sound good? Great. Okay, so let's kick this off. Now, I've got 3 quick questions I want to know, just to give me a little bit of background on you, to give me a sense of where you're at and what you need. So first question, how long have you been an advisor or consultant or service provider in your market? Just give me a quick sense of how long you've been serving your market. Just do us a favor, type that in the chat. So is this a brand new thing for you, doing this now for a couple of years or a couple of decades? Yeah, okay. So we have a pretty broad spectrum. That's cool. I just want to get a quick sense of what you're up to. So next question, and this is again, just to help me figure out the best ways for you to market and the best ways for you to sell. How much does the average client pay you? So if a client stays with you for more than a year, what does the client pay you in that first year? You can add on things like trail commissions if they apply, and if they work with you for less than a year, what's the total engagement worth? And just answer in your currency, so either Australian dollars, obviously heaps of Aussies on the line today, US or Canadian dollars, British pound sterling or euro, whatever your currency, what does the client pay you over the course of a year? If they pay per month, just multiply that by 12. Let me know what this is per year from one client. Okay, so we've got a big range. Okay, so over the year, your client pays a significant amount. Now, pricing and confidence in your rates are critical, especially when transitioning to the more scalable advice models that we're going to look at today. Getting the price right is vital, particularly in competitive markets where price shopping is common. It's easy to be uncertain about what clients will pay. If that's something you've given thought to, just want to give you a kind of a little pricing insight today, just to touch on this now. A key to determining the real value of your 7-figure advice offer is to consider how much does it cost them not to hire you. For example, if one of our programs helps a client generate an extra $1 million a year and it costs only $25,000, that's a 40x ROI, making it a great deal. And spoiler alert, I'm not going to invite you into that program today. Now, quick group exercise. If your client invests $10,000 in you and they make $100,000 back, what's their ROI there? Just type your answer in the chat. What's their ROI? Yeah, 10x. Yes, that's exactly right. Now, if that's the ROI you offer, then in short, that makes you a great deal. Now, our goal is always for your value to be at least 10 to 20 times your price, so that whatever a client invests, they should make back at least 10 to 20 times that value, either financially, in profit or business generated, or in savings, or in some other metric, depending on your market. Now, this helps you confidently show the cost of not engaging you, which is then significantly higher than what your services cost. Thanks for your feedback on that second question. This is really helpful. It just gives me a kind of a sense of a little bit about the kind of advice or consulting you offer and the sort of money that you're charging. So, last question, what's the gap? And here's what I mean. I want you to type in three numbers anonymously. We won't read these out, but it's a helpful exercise to help you understand and implement the lessons. First of all, what's your current monthly income? So just type in your monthly revenue, like 10K or 50K or 100K in the chat, hit send. Let's get an idea of everyone's monthly revenue in here. Okay. Okay, quite a variety. Uh-huh. All right. Thanks for that. Now, question number two, fast forward 12 months. Imagine you've had a great year. What's your new monthly income after 12 months of a great year? 12 months in the future, what does your new monthly income look like? So if your answer to question number one was 10,000 a month a year in the future, maybe a great year would put it at 30,000 a month. If you're at 50K a month right now, then maybe in a year, it could be going up to 120K a month. Again, I'll give you 10 seconds. Just get that second number down. What would it look like after a great year? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great. We've got some pretty significant jumps there by the looks of it. Okay, good. Now, the all-important third number. What is the gap between your first number and your second? What's the difference between those two numbers? And as you consider that, here's the thing. If you already knew what we're covering today, you had the plan and you were implementing it, you would have reached your target number months ago, if not longer. So the gap between where you are now and where you want to be is this knowledge that I'm sharing today. Since you don't yet have this plan and you don't currently implement it, you're still paying what we call the gap tax each month. And that's the difference between your current and your target numbers. Does that make sense? So just type in the chat, what's your gap number? What's that monthly difference between your current and your target income that you're still paying each month? Just type that number in. Okay, there's some big numbers here. Perfect. Thanks for sharing that and for taking note of these numbers for yourself. Because look, why are we here? Well, simply because of that third number, your gap tax. So today, I want to show you how to bridge that gap, how to stop paying that gap tax and start collecting that cash difference yourself. Is that okay? Great. So let's dive into our workbook. Hopefully you've downloaded the handout from the workshop control panel. Let's just share that link again in case anyone still needs it. So just if you haven't got your downloads, if you haven't got your workbook yet, just click on the link in the chat, download that quickly now. Okay. So just open your workbook. I'll guide you through on my iPad. And so we want to get to this page right here. The seven-figure plan, the why. So now let's unpack the why any of this should be important to you. More than anything today, I want to help you build a scalable advice or consulting or service business. And by scale, I mean a business that provides you with three things. First, it provides you with more money. To live the life you want, you need plenty of money. Now, financial motivation may not be your highest value. In business, it is a key measure of success, and it does impact your fulfillment, your freedom. So money's critical. Now, the second thing I want your scaled business to get for you is deeper fulfillment. This is about contribution, making a difference in the world, in your market, for your clients. It's about touching lives and creating positive change with the work that you do. Many advisors, consultants, and experts do make a difference, but to a relatively limited number of clients. Our goal for you is to help more people contribute at a higher level and so achieve that deeper fulfillment. Third, your scaled business needs to bring you greater freedom. This is about structuring your business in a way that allows you to live your life the way you want to. So the ability to travel if you want to, enhance your quality of life and the lives of the people you love, to get more time back so you can spend it how you want to. Does that make sense? So I don't know what your money and fulfillment and freedom goals were when you got started, but I know for me, I had an Aussie mum, a US dad, born in the UK, and grew up as a kid between all three countries. Lots of traveling, lots of different schools. So as an adult, I wanted a career that let me keep living that life. So freedom and funding to live in different countries as I like. And for a long time, freelancing and later consulting gave me that. That allowed me to do great work, but only for a smaller number of clients. And shifting to a scaled model now lets me share my expertise with a greater number of people, giving me a deeper sense of fulfillment and creating more value, so generating more revenue in a way that lets me live how and where I like. So what I want to know is, what would more money, deeper fulfillment, and greater freedom mean in your life? If you just do us a favor, jump into the chat box, just let us know now. What if you had this sweet spot, a business that could scale, give you more money, deeper fulfillment, and greater freedom? What would that look like for you? Ah, nice. Lovely. So some great visions here. I think people have really thought this through. That's great. Well, thank you for sharing your vision there. Now, here's the thing. To achieve the scale that generates greater money, fulfillment, and freedom, you need to focus on three core aspects of your business. And we're going to go through these now. First of all, you need to focus on how you attract. Attracting your ideal prospects with minimum effort is essential. Secondly, you need to focus on how you're connecting. Forging authentic, meaningful connections based on authority, trust, and value. Bringing in leads and warming them up till they're ready to buy. Now, I don't know about you, but many advice and consulting and expertise businesses rely on referrals and repeat clients, which are great when you can get them, but they're not scalable. Plus, they come with trust and value already established. So they're easy sales without a lot of nurture and follow-up required often. So if your sales systems are geared for those, then digital leads often seem less effective because you don't have the right processes in place to build that connection with cold leads over time. With a system that generates, qualifies, and nurtures leads on autopilot, you establish authority and trust, leading to conversations and ultimately conversions. Now, the third element that you're going to need to focus on to get this scaled business dialed in is the element of lead. This is a third piece in our seven-figure advice model, and this is how you lead your prospects into the sale and onto their promised land, i.e. to the results they want, in a scalable way. It's the shift from a service delivery to a service leadership. You're guiding clients collectively to their goals in a done with you approach, at least partially, not just done for you. So to scale, you need all three: attract, connect, and lead. And done right, that gives you more money, deeper fulfillment, and greater freedom. Does that make sense? Good. Okay, great. Here's the thing. Sadly, Most advisors, consultants, and service experts don't achieve the money, fulfillment, or freedom they want because their business isn't optimized for these outcomes. When it comes to serving clients, many one-to-one, done-for-you type advisors can only handle a few dozen clients max, and so they have no leverage, which means they literally can't scale up quickly because it would break their systems. As a result of outdated systems, they struggle to generate enough quality leads, resulting in no audience. So no matter how hard they're pushing out their messaging and their content and their offers, there's no one to hear or see them, and they're just getting crickets. And if you can't scale your flow of hot leads, build real connection, and convert the leads into prospects consistently, then that leads to limited or, even worse, no sales. So just take a moment now and consider which is costing you the most. Is it not enough leverage in your model? Is it not enough audience? Or is it just not enough sales? Just type it in the chat for me. Let's get an idea. Okay, so we've got a bit of a mix, obviously. Right. Looks like a lot of it is audience, so the scale and the leads and some sales. Now, whichever you wrote there, we got a few that are more than just one, shall we say. Whichever you wrote there, this is the area or the areas needing change for you. Chances are they could all do with some improvement. Thank you for interacting here, by the way. It makes this a two-way conversation, which is more enjoyable for both of us. So perfect. Let's address this. If the problem is not enough leverage, not enough audience, or not enough sales, we need to tweak these areas. It's not your fault. The traditional sales and marketing models taught to most advisors, experts, and service businesses aren't designed for a digital world, and so they're just not scalable. So let's drop that outdated paradigm for at least the next couple of hours, and let me show you a better way. See, in order to achieve real scale in your business, there are 9 projects or accelerators in our 7-figure advice model. Today, I'll show you the whole map that we use, and I'll show you the fastest route to results by focusing on the 3 most important of those 9. And we'll workshop those 3 a bit so you get this done for yourself. If this makes sense, just type "yep" in the chat for me. Yep, great. Okay. Great. Now, you need to implement all 9 of our projects or accelerators. I'm going to take you through all 9 in a moment. This map that I lay out will guide you, and you can even use tools like ChatGPT to help you if you're short on cash flow and you have the time to work this out yourself and ride the learning curve. So just to help you either way, let me lay out the whole plan for you. This is literally your best path to scaling your advice, consulting, or expertise business. It's in 3 phases, and we're going to go through each phase separately. So as I said, the first phase here is the attract phase. Now, there are 3 accelerators to this phase. As you can see, it's perfect avatar, empathize offer, and alchemize system. Dial these 3 in to grow a greater audience and deeper fulfillment. Let's go through them. Perfect avatar. This is where you get crystal clear on your niche and the specific transformation you create and your promise for your ideal clients. Focus on one target with one problem, delivering one solution for faster results. The second one, empathize offer. Frame the solution you're selling in terms of your market's most potent emotional triggers. The key here is to tap into their current challenges and desires and their future fears and aspirations, and speak to all 4 of them, which you might notice me do in this workshop from time to time. The third is Alchemize System. Package your expertise into a simple, scalable signature system or map that you walk clients through as a group to achieve a specific high-demand result with your perfect avatar. This moves you from bespoke one-on-one strategies to scalable group formats for part or all of your service delivery, and I'll show you how to do this today. These are the three main projects that our seven-figure advisors run in the attract phase. Next, we have the connect phase. So here we have fine-tune funnel, automate authority, and rally tribe. Get this second phase dialed in for more money and greater freedom. First, fine-tune funnel. Generate abundant, qualified leads, filtering out the time wasters, converting hot prospects ASAP, and nurturing others automatically to become high-potential prospects over time. All on autopilot, so you can scale your lead flow without your systems breaking. Second, automate authority. Set up the systems that share the emails, texts, DMs, and social media to build the know, like, and trust factor in your audience, and even book them into your team's calendars, all on autopilot. This helps you leverage your fine-tuned funnel to ensure a steady flow of highly qualified, warmed-up leads booking themselves into your sales pipeline. Third, we have Rally Your Tribe. Create a very simple online community to deepen your connection with high-quality prospects with the minimum of effort. And this is the best way I know to generate, nurture, and convert a steady stream of advice leads into clients right now. And today I'll show you how, once built, these three systems will bring in new leads every day and set you up for new clients every week. Which brings us to the third piece, the lead phase. And here, your three key projects or accelerators are fast track content, scale sales, and sell in workshop. Nail this piece to sell your advice or services at scale. So the first, fast track content. Keep your content calendar full with simple templates that make content as easy as paint by numbers, so you engage, nurture, and convert followers into prospects easily. Combine these proven frameworks with the 9 topics of your own simple, scalable signature system to create a robust content map and repurpose valuable client material for your marketing. Second is scale sales, and the key here is to first audition prospects instead of selling to them, ensuring a perfect fit. Our 3-stage approach includes the chat sales accelerator, where you're easily qualifying and converting clients in the DMs. And then stage 2 is a triage call to disqualify fast. And stage 3 is an easy one-on-one conversation that's relaxed and mutually valuable for selling high-priced advice programs simply and at scale. Finally, number 3, sell in workshop, where you contribute and convert on a one-to-many basis through workshops, attracting those who already know what they need and what you offer. This method allows global reach and a highly efficient program enrollment. So these 9 projects form the complete framework or map to scale your advice or consulting or service business to achieve more money, deeper fulfillment, and greater freedom. Now, quick question, just let me know, what ideas has this sparked for you? How does this map make you think about your business and how you could be doing things differently? Just type it in the chat. Let's get an idea. Let's see what's resonating and what ideas this is producing. Okay, a lot of ideas here. All right, fantastic. Well, look, thanks for sharing. Let's jump in now. Stop for a moment. The first thing you need to know when reading any kind of map is where you are on that map currently. So you can get the most out of this map today, let's get clear on where you are now to work out what's the best way to get you where you want to be. We'll do a quick group exercise that I call the traffic light audit, and this will help you see how your business is currently performing in each of these 9 areas. You'll be able to identify where you need to focus your efforts to improve your results and start hitting your scales goals. Now, here's how it works. For each of the 9 projects, our traffic light audit uses red to indicate stopped or not effective, yellow to show slow progress, and green for full speed ahead. So I'm going to walk through these one by one and explain what red, yellow, and green looks like for each of these 9 steps. Score yourself and then write in the chat what your color is. Just type in the chat your color, whether it's red, yellow, or green, to get an idea of how you're currently performing. And I'm going to take note of the predominant colors. So we're going to get a group audit. So let's go. Traffic light number 1, perfect avatar. The question to ask yourself here is, how narrowly defined is your target market? So a red here is, we're offering advice or expertise to a broad and not clearly defined market, and we're varying our service quite often. A yellow is we're advising a few different avatars, but still offering a varied menu to different customers or clients. Green, we're focused on one unique avatar addressing the same challenges and solutions each time. So let's just get an idea in the chat. Which color are you? Just score yourself now, red, yellow, or green. Tell me and I'll mark them in our model. Okay, so we have a mix, reds, lots of yellows, a few greens. I think it's mostly yellows here. So let's mark this one in yellow. So we're at yellow for perfect avatar. Now, moving swiftly along, traffic light number 2, empathize offer. Question here is, does your offer serve a real need effectively, and can you connect it to your prospect's deepest emotional motivators? So red here is we're just offering the same generic features as everyone else in our market. A yellow, we offer some clearly defined benefits that are connected to some of our market's deep fears and desires. And a green is our offer is deeply aligned with one avatar's specific emotional triggers. So score yourself red, yellow, or green, and let's get an idea here. Okay, again, strong mix of reds and yellows, a couple of greens. I think again here, I think the yellows have it. So that's encouraging. So we've got a fairly solid foundation, I think, for the majority here. The reds obviously need to pay close attention. In fact, the yellows do too, because we're going to be dialing this in today in our next step. So let's jump to the next step. Traffic light number 3, alchemize system. How leveraged and scalable is your current delivery system? So a red here is not leveraged. We're one-to-one. We're reinventing our deliverables every time, depending on the client needs. Yellow here is some parts are leveraged, e.g. ebooks, video trainings, etc., but there's a large bespoke element. And a green is our full framework is delivered in a leveraged way, e.g. book, online trainings, group coaching program, etc. So just score yourself there, red, yellow, or green. Okay, I think we've got quite a lot of reds here. So not a lot of leverage. There's some yellows. There are not many greens, which is great. That you're going to find this this workshop incredibly helpful. I think we've got predominantly reds there in Alchemize system. So you'll enjoy this next part when we start workshopping just that. Now, traffic light number 4, fine-tune funnel. How automated are your lead filtering systems? Can you determine who's likely to buy, and can you get rid of the tire kickers before they waste anybody's time? So a red here is our lead filtering and sorting is largely manual. Yellow is, we have some lead filtration automated. But there's a manual component as well. And then green is we have a fully automated system to filter our leads and engage each accordingly. Just score yourself there, red, yellow, or green. And let's just take note. Okay. Okay, so I think we've got a fair mix of reds and yellows. I think that one's probably, I think that was probably red predominantly. So let's get the red in here and fine tune funnel. Now let's move on. Traffic light number 5, automate authority. Now, how effectively do you nurture and manage leads, bringing them down your sales funnel and warming them up without human intervention? So a red here is we don't have much automation at all. Yellow is we have some automation, but we're not generating enough trust in prospects to get a great conversion ratio. Green is we're building that know, like, and trust fully on autopilot. So by the time people get to a sales call or consultation, they're usually keen to buy. So score yourself there, red, yellow, or green, and just tell me, and I'll mark that one in. Okay. So we've got some with no automations. We have, I think, more with some automations, but not generating enough trust to get a great conversion ratio. Not many greens again. So this one will go with yellow. Automate authority, we have the yellow there. So it's a bit of a foundation there, which is good. Next traffic light 6, Rally Tribe. Now for this one, we're going to measure lead flow because that's really what the Rally Tribe project is about. So the question here is, how strong is your lead flow? Red is not enough leads consistently coming in. Yellow is enough leads to maintain but not to grow. And green is more than enough high quality leads coming in to grow consistently. So just score yourself there, red, yellow, or green. Let me know and I'll mark them in. Okay, I think we have a lot of reds here. Got some yellows, a couple of greens, mostly reds. Okay, so don't change that. Well, that's good because the second part of the workshop is going to focus on just this piece here. So you're in the right place for all of those with red or yellow. Now let's move along. Traffic light number 7, fast track content. We're now into the third and final phase of lead. And the question is, how strong is your output of engaging, helpful, valuable content into your market? And red, we have no consistent content or no engagement. Yellow, we have inconsistent or low engagement. And green, we have high quality, consistent content with minimal effort and strong engagement. So just score yourself there, red, yellow, or green. Okay, so it looks like we've got a lot of yellows here, some reds, but mostly people are putting out content, but there's inconsistent or low engagement. So we'll make that yellow. Okay, fantastic. Now let's move along. Traffic light 8, scaled sales. The question here is, what is your conversion rate in one-to-one sales? So, and this is just from digital leads, so not including referrals and repeat business. So a red would be 50% or less conversion in those one-to-one sales meetings or calls. Yellow is 50 to 80% conversions, and then green is 80% conversions or more. Just score yourself there, red, yellow, or green. And remember, this is just the digital leads, so not referrals and repeat business. Okay, so it looks like we have quite a few reds. Some yellows, but quite a few reds are coming in there. And that's often the case, particularly with the digital leads, because they require such a different approach that not a lot of advisors, consultants, and experts are taking yet. Now, traffic light number 9, sell with workshops. The question here is, have you sold through online workshops or webinars? And red is, we've never sold with an online workshop or webinar. Yellow is some workshop or webinar sales, but less than 20% conversion. Green is, we've sold on workshops or webinars and had 20% or more conversion. Just score yourself there, red, yellow, or green, and let's get an idea of where everybody's at. Okay, I think this is also a red. Got yellows in there as well, but that looks like mainly red. Mark that red as well. Okay. Okay, so here's the thing. Obviously, the goal that we have is to build a business that's scalable for you. And what we've just done is quickly color-coded how your current business is right now through the lens of, can I scale? So I'm going to give you 20 seconds right now. Reflect on where your traffic lights were at. And then I'd like you to type in the chat box. Just answer this question for me in the chat. How scalable is your current business? Based on your own self-assessment here, how scalable is your business right now? Let's just get an idea. Okay, so we've got, right, yeah. Okay, so I think a lot of people are realizing that their businesses are not scalable in their current state. And I totally get it. And you know, it's fairly universal because to build a scalable business does require often changing the traditional models that you might have thought in and built in up to this point. So I totally get it. Now, I have another question for you. What's it costing you not to scale? So if you've identified that your business isn't currently scalable, what has that been costing you? Yeah. Yeah, and this is we've got a lot of answers here that are related to bigger goals, more than just finances, but financially as well. Okay, so look, using our 9-step framework as your map, let's jump in and let's start changing some of these reds and yellows to greens. Does that sound good? Yeah? Okay, great. Now let's just go back. Let's have a look at the audit. If we look at this right now, so these are the 9 projects that our 7-figure advisors run to grow their business. Now, I promised you on this call that we'd map out your 7-figure plan, so the fastest way there. And so all of these 9 things are good, right? And there's nothing here which is like, I totally don't want that. But if we had to shortcut this, there are 3 areas we must have a green light ASAP, one in each category of attract, connect, and lead. So here they are. Number 1, in the attract phase, the critical piece is alchemize your system. Alchemize system. Figure out what's the leveraged, scalable framework you're going to sell or use to market more effectively and stand out from your competition, right? So we're going to workshop that first in just a few minutes. Secondly, we need to look at the connect side of your business, how we're going to get the leads and then build your authority with them. And this combination is awesome. When we fine-tune your funnel, we have a scalable lead filtering machine. And then in Automate Authority, we do direct response lead generation. Well, you build a great brand over time just by virtue of the fact that when we're generating leads, we're automatically building an incredible amount of authority. But that's not the fast track. The really quick win here is to get you generating and nurturing those high quality leads ASAP. So today we're going to do some work in the Rally Tribe Accelerator. Need to get this to green ASAP. And now lastly, we get into the lead phase. And there are 3 things we could teach here. You know, how to fast track your content output, how to qualify and lead a prospect through a streamlined sales process that's easy to scale, or how to sell on a workshop so you can leverage that one-to-many sale opportunity. For the fast track here, we're going to get you to green in this one here. Sell in workshop. Okay, because given the fact that these let you access clients all across your city, your state, even all around the country or beyond, from whatever you set up your laptop, basically, plus you can sell in that highly leveraged one-to-many format. It's the quickest way to take those prospects you've attracted and connected with and lead them into a sale. So there's your fastest path. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to do those 3 now. And this is going to be your 7-figure advice plan. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that's our job. So if you're cool with that, type bring it on and let's get this done together. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Bring it on. All right, team, let's do this. Now, I just want to bring you to this page here. It's called Insights and Actions. There are four sections for today's session. Now, this is in your workbook as well, just towards the beginning. I think it's page 3 or page 4 in your workbook. And this is, I just want you to write in this through this workshop today. There are four sections. We've just done the seven-figure plan. So that's our kind of opening piece. That's that first row up the top. And next we're going to do attract and alchemize your system. Now, a big part of you seeing different results in your business is doing things differently. And sadly, we're not naturally wired to change how we do things very easily. So one of the most valuable things that we can do today is not only tell you what to do and show you how to do it, but also to help make sure you get started doing it. So what I'd like you to do right now is just take 30 seconds and in this piece right here up top, the seven-figure plan, just write down the three big shifts that based on that first piece we've done, three changes that you now know you need to make to start hitting your growth or scale goals. Just while we're here and you're in this state of learning and thinking and maybe planning. Cool. So you've got 30 seconds right now. What are the three shifts that you know you need to make just based on what we've talked about so far? Write these down for yourself and then just share them in the chat when you've got them written down. Let's get an idea of where everybody's at. Yeah. Yeah. So I can see people are really getting what the map is about. And there's obviously a strong desire to grow and scale, which is fantastic because that's what this is all about. Okay, so let's get on it then. Let's not waste any time. So we're really going to do three things today. Mostly, I'm going to help you get it. Teach you this stuff, give you the map so that you get it. And then it's my job to help you get it done. So we'll workshop a few key pieces to get you started. I'll give you some systems, frameworks, and templates to help you get it done. And then, now they say, success leaves clues. So I'm also going to show you how actual clients, big and small, implemented the pieces that I share with you today and how it delivered bottom line growth in the real world in a range of businesses. So I think if you learn the overall theory with me in this workshop and I take you through the map and you get to rework the three fast track pieces yourself, you get a plan for what else you need to do. Then you see how it's really done in the real world with real results from actual clients. It's going to be the perfect example. Does that make sense to everyone? Does that make sense? Just type in the chat. Yep, great. Okay. Now, first up, let's take a break for a few minutes. Let's get ready to jump into the next section. We'll just say 3 minutes, quick break. Take some time to stretch, maybe get some ideas down if you want to, maybe get a drink ready, whatever you like, and let's jump back in 3 minutes. Okay. Okay, guys, so let's get into the first phase of your seven-figure plan. This is the attract phase. So let's start by laying foundations for your attract phase. And the piece we'll work on today is alchemize your system. A quick piece on this naming. As you may know, alchemy is the mythical art and science of turning lead into gold through a process of dissolving and reconstituting the metal. The idea was that when you remove all the impurities from the lead, all that's left is pure gold. And so it's a great metaphor for how you'll scale your simple, scalable signature system. We break down your process, your current model, to its key parts. We remove as many non-scalable bits as we can, for example, the one-to-one or bespoke elements that you might offer. And then we put the remaining pieces back together to deliver a single solution to a single problem in a scalable way that is irresistible to your one perfect avatar. And then if you want to, you can always upsell customers to a more bespoke premium service after they've bought your scalable offering. So creating that scalable offer is the key to scaling in this seven-figure advice plan. And one of the best ways to think about this, you've probably heard of the Pareto principle or the 80-20 rule. Now, in many traditional advice or consulting business models, there's a whole lot of input or work done. So we have lots of work and time spent, effort made, often reinventing the wheel. And after all that work is done, there's not a whole lot of impact or value that's actually generated. Now, instead of that, our seven-figure advisors do the opposite. So what they're doing is they're rebuilding offers so that the effort and the work done is quite a lower level of input, yielding a much higher level of value and output. Our seven-figure advisors work on this principle. Define your target, understand the common goals and obstacles that the majority face, design one system to deliver solutions at scale. In some cases, that may mean de-scoping some of your bespoke deliverables so that you can start impacting many rather than just a few. And as I said, you can then upsell clients to a more bespoke premium service once they've become customers of your scalable product. So, quick question for everybody. Just let me know in the chat, where are you on the Pareto scale? Does your system currently operate more in the 80% input, delivering 20% output? Or are you at the 20% input, enjoying the 80% output? Or are you somewhere in the middle, somewhere along that spectrum? Just put it in the chat. Let's get a sense. Okay. So a lot of the weighting is towards the wrong end of the Pareto scale, which is not uncommon. So now let's get an overview of the first two steps of our attract phase, and then we'll focus on the third project of alchemizing your system. So first up, perfect avatar. Now the whole process starts with making sure we're crystal clear on your niche and the specific scalable transformation that you can create with your ideal clients. Even though you can serve a variety of people across a range of topics and needs, we'll get faster results by focusing on that one first target market. When our seven-figure advisors implement the Perfect Avatar Accelerator, you gain a deep understanding of that target market. And this lets you craft compelling messaging that resonates with those ideal clients. So now let's see this idea in action with a couple of case studies. HSBC Australia were developing a co-branded credit card with Woolworths, but they had a problem. For HSBC, Woolworths customers were a whole new market and they had no past experience or data to guide them on engaging this new audience. So I was brought in to collaborate with Tribal DDB to address this issue. We began by getting crystal clear on the audience. The card offered supermarket rewards points that helped with their everyday spending. So we were targeting a demographic for whom we knew every dollar really counted. Once we drilled into their motivators, we were able to align our offer, messaging, and language with these motivators. In the end, the messages and the offers that we created really resonated. It was a hugely successful campaign for HSBC, and we even won the Search Marketing Award at the IDB Awards. But as I said, all these ideas are just as effective in small businesses too. Noble Loans, a small business lender, was struggling to stand out against bigger lenders. They were chasing a broad market, which meant they weren't resonating strongly enough with any niche. One of our agency teams came in, and the first step was to help Noble Loans to perfect their avatar. Getting clear on their ideal customer, Noble Loans was then able to target a smaller, more defined sector where they could dominate and see the strongest ROI. Within just 6 months, better targeting and ads helped Noble Loans see a 541% increase in web traffic and a corresponding uptick in new clients. So no matter what size your business, getting crystal clear on your narrow niche lets you create far more potent offers and attract your market at scale. But that's just the first of 9 critical projects that our 7-figure advisors undertake. The next crucial step is Empathize Offer. So when you implement the Empathize Offer process, you tailor your marketing strategies to speak to 4 specific emotional drivers in your perfect avatar. First, their present desires. Second, their present frustrations. So that's the carrot and the stick, or towards and away from motivators in their present reality. Next, you want to future pace both of those. So you point to what happens in the future if those desires are realized, and what happens if those frustrations continue. This process reveals and speaks to their dreams and their fears. So let's look at that in action. Santander UK was struggling to take market share from the big UK banks. Customers weren't switching due to the paperwork involved and the time cost. I worked with Santander and Engine Agency in the UK to develop a campaign that aligned with the target market's emotional drivers. We identified 2 key segments in the market: the higher net worth individuals who were time poor and cash rich, and then the majority lower net worth individuals who had more time and less cash. And we crafted offers to appeal to both segments: a switching concierge service to handle the paperwork and appeal to the time poor segment of the market, plus a £100 cash incentive to incentivize the cash poor segment to switch. This empathized offer addressed the real pain points and motivations of both potential avatars and led to a surge in new account openings for Santander. Our Time to Switch campaign was so successful, it won the Financial Marketing Week Engage Awards for that year. More importantly, Santander runs our campaign year after year because it consistently delivers a flood of new customers. And of course, the benefits are just as clear on the smaller businesses too. This is Cameron. He founded an online small business lender. Now, initially, Cam's company thrived in a low-interest environment, but over time, their strategy started to lose ROI. Ads became more expensive, and old SEO tactics weren't delivering the traffic. One of our agency teams implemented a campaign strategy built on an empathized offer, revamped their SEO, PPC, and content strategies in line with more niche-specific and emotionally resonant offers targeting specific wants and frustrations. Within 6 months, Cameron saw over 160% growth in year-on-year traffic and a significant 100% growth in conversions. So by empathizing with their market and tailoring their offers to meet specific emotional needs, this small business lender regained their competitive edge and achieved substantial business growth. So now, speaking of UK banks, let's get our bearings. Boom. So now we've looked today briefly at these first 2 steps of our 9-step model. We looked at Perfect Avatar, and we looked at Empathize Offer. And as I said today, we have time to go more deeply into this third part of the Attract phase, which is Alchemize System. So here we want to design your simple, scalable signature system so you've got a clear path to getting your clients one valuable result in a scalable way, and you can confidently take that to the market and sell it, knowing that your clients will win in a way that you'll love delivering. So first up, why do you need to alchemize your system? Well, to answer that, let's start with the three underlying problems with the outdated one-to-one service model. The first, the time for money hamster wheel. You listen to a client's problems, often the same problems that most clients have, and then you craft a new solution, basically swapping your time for money. You may be able to leverage parts of this process, but you can't scale because you're reinventing the solution each time. You reinvent a full or partial solution, often charging clients for work that could be better leveraged in a way that's less costly for both sides. And in that model, you're stuck in reactive and not proactive mode, reacting to client demands rather than proactively leading them to the place you know they need to go in the way that best serves them and you. So ultimately, you're making a lot of effort for little impact. Does this resonate with anyone? Just put in the chat. Let's see if this is resonating. Yeah, right. Now, fortunately, some or all of that work can be done usually in a better way. And there are three big ideas that help our seven-figure advice clients to get there. Of the three big ideas, the number one is package your promise. Structure the result that you can deliver as a ready-made product rather than a service, so that you can price by value and not by volume. Big idea number two, simplify complexity. You may need to de-scope your offer so that you can deliver it as a product, and you can always upsell clients, as I said, to your more complex or bespoke services later. Big idea number three, highlight the hurdles. Consider the challenges your clients typically encounter along the path from problem to promise and bake the solutions into your scalable product. These make great selling points and they help ensure you get great results. Implementing these three big ideas allows you to create once, use often, and sell at scale. So you launch one product, reuse it with every client, and then simply keep tweaking and improving it rather than reinventing the wheel each time. So let me ask you, how is this different from the way that you currently do things? Just let's get an idea in the chat. Simpler, easier, yeah. Leverage, yeah. Faster, yeah. Yeah, very different in many cases. Okay, so now let's take a look at exactly how you're going to do this. We'll start with our method. So our seven-figure advisors create their simple, scalable signature system using the Advice Alchemy method. Now, in order to keep it simple today, we focus on three simple steps in this method. When our clients take these three steps in the right order, they get to reinvent all or part of their offering in a scalable format. This lets you go from being good at what you do to being good at what you do for a much larger group of clients. So let's step it through now. Step one is find your true north. You need to design an advice framework that aligns to your scale objectives of more money, deeper fulfillment, and greater freedom while allowing you to serve a much larger number of clients. Finding your true north means your clients are aligned with this direction, and to confirm that, they must tick three boxes. You like working with them, you can help them, and they can afford you. Next, one of the biggest challenges when alchemizing your system is complexity. So we follow a critical process that I'll share with you now. This is step two, work the 7 1s. Back in about 2011, business genius Eric Ries published a groundbreaking book, The Lean Startup. And the book's premise was that when you go to market, always lead with the minimum viable product or MVP, and then you can get to market fast, build out or pivot your product in response to actual market demand and not guesswork. I designed our Alchemized System project in line with Eric Ries' concept of the lean startup. So we launch with your minimum viable product and we only expand based on what your market tells you it wants. Now, we have a framework that helps you nail your MVP. It's called the 7 1s. And I'm going to go through this now. I'm going to share with you how it works. And what you can do is go along in your own workbook or on a pad, and let's quickly workshop this idea. So just jot down any quick ideas around what your 7 1s could be. Now, first, we want one, dial this in. And the idea here is to just keep it really simple, okay? So we want one, We want one narrowly defined target market, not a broad market, not multiple targets, just one specific type of person so you can tailor one clear message. Just write who that one niche might be for you right now, either on your workbook or in your work or on a pad. Next, we're going to target one singular problem. Although there may be various symptoms, we focus on one primary problem for this target market. Note down the first thing that comes to mind for you as your one problem. Next, we have one product. This hero product solves that one problem, and you can scale it to $1 million a year because it targets that one target market, solving that one problem. No menu, no bespoke element, just one solution. Write down what your one product, that one solution could be. Next, one conversion tool. This might be a workshop, a strategy session, or a live event. Whatever it is for you, focus on mastering one way to convert prospects into clients for your one product. And just write that down now in your pyramid. Next, we want to master one lead source. Might be free, might be paid, might be partnership. Just focus on one way to get leads. I'll show you this year's best performing strategy a bit later, so you can leave that blank for now if you like, or write down yours. Next, we want one price point. Pick a single price that helps you reach 7 figures. You could go with a lower price for an 8-week online program or a higher price for a 12-month engagement. We recommend starting with a 3 to 5K price for a shorter program. This way, you only need 3 to 5 clients a month to hit that 10 to 15K in your first 90 days and validate your idea, which is where we want to begin. Make sure your price fits your financial goals and highlights the cost of not for your client. So we've got 6 of the 7 ones. The last one is one quarter. A quarter year, 3 months, focusing on these 6 ones to make sure that they can take you to 7 figures. Now, think for a moment about what happens if you don't follow this approach. Let's just imagine, let's say you did 3 target markets and you targeted 2 different problems. Let's say you had 3 different products. Let's say you wanted to work with 4 different conversion tools. You might have had 2 different lead sources. Maybe you offered 4 different price points. And maybe instead of every quarter, you did it once a week. And you're swapping and changing. Chop and change, chasing the next shiny object or the next fad strategy. What's the end result of that look like? What is the end result of that 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4 in every week? Just write it in the chat. Overwhelm, stuck, burnout, exactly. Yeah. So that is why we don't do that. What we do instead is the 7 ones all the way along. Now, let's just pause for a second. Imagine simplifying your business to this degree. And let me just ask, what kind of difference would this make? What impact would this have on you and your business? Can you just take 20 seconds right now and just give us, if we could simplify your business down, have a simple system that works predictably, targeting these 7 ones, what kind of an impact would that have? Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of very positive impacts for a lot of businesses. And it's absolutely true. That's why we do this. And it's worked across the board. Simplifying. Okay, look, so we covered the first 2 of the 3 simple steps, find your true north and the 7 ones. So now let's take the third simple step. which is map your menu. Focusing on just one outcome for that one client avatar lets you take the critical step of transforming your service menu into an outcome map. So instead of sitting with one client at a time, serving whatever they request from your menu, you can work with a group of clients, simply leading them through the map that delivers the promised outcome. Now, speaking of which, let's get some of this done today. Our seven-figure advisors map their menu and create their hero product using our Zero to Hero framework. And I'm going to share a part of this with you now, and we'll go through the process together. So it all begins with understanding two things about your client. Let's just draw this out so it's super clear for everybody here. So first of all, you want to understand the problems at hand. These are the typical problems that your perfect avatar is struggling with. Next, you want to identify their promised land. Okay, this is the ideal scenario that they want your help to reach. Once you're clear on these, you can say to your client, here's where you are now, and here's where you want to get to, and have them nod and say, yes, that's right. There's a critical concept here from one of the earliest proponents of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, by the name of Wyatt Woodsmall. And I first heard this from legend Taki Moore. And it's when you can articulate another person's problem better than they can, they automatically and unconsciously credit you with knowing the solution. I'll show you what that looks like for us at Seven Figure Advice. As I'm going through this, take note of any ideas you have about your problem and your promise. So for your clients, what's the problem at hand and what's the promised land? So let's take a look at ours now. So for our clients, you may be struggling with an unscalable offer. You may be frustrated by poor lead flow, or you may have difficulty converting those leads into sales, or perhaps you're stuck in that one-to-one delivery. Next, you want to define the promised land. And there's a super simple trick to this. It's just the opposite of whatever was in their problems at hand, Cliff. So take some notes of what yours might be. As an example, for us, your promised land then becomes, you have an easily scalable offer. You have a consistent flood of hot leads on tap. You have an elegant system for effortless sales, and you have a way for delivering in a one-to-many format. So once you have these two elements defined for your niche, you can say to your prospects, here's where you are, and here's where you want to get to. And so then the question becomes, well, how do they get there as a group? And that is where this comes in. Remember the model I laid out earlier and that we used to run your traffic light audit. So this map is the bridge to take your client from here to here. This is your Genius model based on the Genius framework created by Simon Bowen. So let me ask, who here would like to learn our alchemical process to create your own Genius model and a hero program that looks something like this? Fantastic. Okay. All right, let's get started. Let's get started with the concentric conversion frame. We have a lot to get through today, so we won't pause to do a lot of the work. So either just scribble notes as I step you through this, or just take note of the process so you can do this on your own later. We'll take another break at the end of this section so you can flesh out your ideas more if you like. So the critical next piece is your concentric conversion frame. This is in the workbook, in the near the Zero to Hero title slide in the Attract and Alchemize System section, or you can work on your pad, whichever is easier. So in the triangle, you want to write the one singular transformation that you promise to your market, and it wants to be measurable and specific, ideally using some kind of metric. So for our 3-month program, the 7-figure advisor implementation program, that promise is an additional 15K a month within 90 days. So just get your overarching promise down to a couple of words. So I'll put in ours, just that 15K a month. Just put that in there. So just get an idea of what is that tangible, measurable result that you can point to with your program. Take note of yours now. Now, next step, each of these inner concentric circle lines that we see represents one of the 3 key obstacles that stops your client from achieving that outcome. So in our case, that 15K a month when they try it by themselves. So for our program, this looks like down here we have delivery doubt, and then down here we have lacking leads, and then down here we have sales difficulty. So these are the 3 challenges that our perfect avatar actually faces when they try and achieve these outcomes. So just write what those will be for your client on the inside of those concentric lines. Again, just a couple of words each. Next, what is the desired result that your client wants instead of those 3 problems? And remember, that's generally just the opposite of the problems at hand. So you'll write your 3 desired results along the outside of the concentric lines. So for ours, then we're looking for our implementation program. That then becomes rock solid delivery along the bottom, and then it's hot leads on tap, and then it's effortless sales. And so those are the promised land that we're going to take our perfect avatar to. Now, here's the fun part. For each of those 3 phases, I want you to define 2 or 3 steps that take your client from problem at hand to promised land for that phase. And you'll write those along the 3 outer lines along here. So for example, our phase 1, attract, the promised land is rock solid delivery, as we just looked at. And the 3 steps are, let's just get this written down here. So step 1 is perfect avatar. Step 2 is empathize offer. And then step 3 is alchemize system. So what would yours be? Now, those 3 steps taken correctly create for us rock solid delivery. So those 3 steps create the promised land for your prospects. So let's look at the next one. In our connect phase, we have fine-tune funnel, we have automate authority, and we have rally tribe. Okay. And those 3 steps done right, deliver hot leads on tap. And finally, for us in the lead phase, we have fast track content, we have scaled sales, we have sell in workshop. Okay. And those 3 steps done correctly lead to effortless sales. Now, once all that's done, you have the first rough draft of your simple, scalable signature system. And with a bit of refinement, your end result should look something like this. So these will be your 6 or 9 projects inside your hero product, and everything else we burn off as unscalable and therefore impurities, leaving you with the gold. Does that make sense for everybody? Yep, fantastic. Now, to give you a bit more help nailing this, here are 2 of the critical exercises that we share with our clients in the 7-figure advice program. The first exercise in the Alchemize process is Solve or dissolve. And the idea here is we're going to break down your current service delivery into all its various constituent parts. Organize them into the 3 different phases that you've identified your client's going to take from problems at hand to promised land. Just break down your service and work out what parts of your service are going to fit into each of those 3 phases. And then you're going to look at all those different parts and say, well, which parts aren't scalable? Which parts do we need to do a one-to-one delivery? Which parts do we need to reinvent the wheel every time? Get rid of them and just keep those scalable elements. And then the next exercise in the Alchemize system process is coagula. And this is the reconstituting of your alchemized system. And this is where you take those pieces that are scalable and you look at the 3 steps towards the promised land in each of your 3 phases, and you work out which of these steps should contain those scalable elements of your service. So you put it all together in that right framework so that your scalable services are leading the client specifically along a very clear and simple path from the problems at hand to the promised land. So obviously we don't have time to go into this right now, but this is just to help you get an idea, and you can rework this yourself on your own time. And then by completing these processes, you wind up with your own genius model, your own scalable, simple signature solution. So now let me ask you, what's your hero product? Having been through this process, hopefully you've done some work through this. Let's just get some feedback. Who's developing a good idea of what your one solution could be? Just give me a 1 in the chat if you've got it. Great, great, yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so we've got a lot of 1s. A lot of people are getting some ideas. We've even got some ideas already put in here. This is great. Okay, now generally there's really 2 options. There's the short program, okay, or there's the year-long mastermind when it comes to your hero program. All we're thinking about now is, like, probably long-term, you'll end up with both. But let's just think about next steps. Is the next focus for you building a short-term specific result, like a short time frame online program, or is the next step for you building something bigger, like a 12-month program? Just type it into the box. Which one feels like the next step for you? Okay, yeah, so mostly it's the short-term online program. And that is the sensible place to start, because it's easy to do the MVP. It's easy to validate your ideas, get to that 15K a month in 90 days, and make sure that you've got a real market there before you jump into that 12-month program once you've confirmed that the market demand is there. Okay. Okay, now let's just check in. At the end of the last session, I brought you to this page. It's called Insights and Actions. It's on like page 3 or 4 of your workbook. In the second row, where it says Attract and Alchemize System, just take 60 seconds now to think and write, what are the 3 changes you already know you need to make when it comes to your current business processes and systems for delivering solutions to your clients, so you can generate more income, have a deeper impact, enjoy greater freedom? Just take 60 seconds now. Just get this jotted down. What are the 3 changes you already know you need to make based on what you've just been through with the team here? Just write that down in your notes. And when you're done, just share your insights in the chat. I'd love to get an idea of where people are at. Yeah. Okay, so we've got a lot of people realizing they need to start scaling, simplifying, streamlining. Yeah. Alchemizing the system. That's right. Love that. Great. Okay, so let's switch gears. If you do that, if we design an advice program that can scale like that, it becomes the key to really get you to the right ratio in your Pareto framework. Now, so that's why this is the critical green in the attract phase, and nailing the Alchemize system in the attract phase is the fast track to build you something that can scale up to 15K a month fast and grow up to 7 figures or more in the long run. Now, in a moment, we'll take a look at this next phase. So right here, the connect phase. And I have the frameworks to help you make a really fast start on your Connect piece and rallying your tribe. Now, first, let's take another 3-minute break, just detach, stretch, go back and do a bit of creative work if you like on your Alchemized system exercises. Then let's come back refocused and energized, ready to power through this next section. Okay, let's all jump back in. Welcome back, everybody, to the 7-figure advice plan. Now, can I just get an idea from you before we jump into this? What are the best takeaways so far? So what are some of the best takeaways that you've had, the nuggets, the ahas, the insights, the realizations? What are the takeaways you've had, the best ones so far? Can you just share it in the chat, please? Yeah, a lot of need to scale. Yeah, different perspective of the business. Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay. All right. So we're getting a lot of insights here, which is fantastic. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the next phase. Connect. Now, in a nutshell, the Connect phase systemizes that process of bringing new qualified prospects into and through your sales funnel every day and converting clients each week. So it sits here in our Genius model, right here. And we're generating those leads. We're building real connections with qualified prospects who are looking for what you offer. And most of this work is done on autopilot. Okay. So we have 3 core projects to work on. And we'll start with this one, fine-tune funnel. And this is where we structure your sales funnel in a way that's totally aligned with those scale elements of more money, deeper fulfillment, and greater freedom. And this is critical. It's basically the critical piece of your 7-figure advice model, and it's the foundation for a lot of your sales automation. And the thinking here is based on Dean Jackson's client readiness matrix, which is just a genius piece of insight and statistics around your selling process. And what Dean Jackson has in his matrix is very simply, basically, there are 5% of all of your leads who are going to be ready to buy now or in the next 90 days. So these are the really hot leads that will come into your funnel all the time. It's that 5%. Now, beyond that, there are 35% of your leads who won't be ready now, won't be your hot leads, but they will be ready to make that buying decision at some point in the next 3 to 12 months. And then the big number here to remember all the time is the 60% who will never qualify. These are the time wasters, the tire kickers, that so many advisors and consultants and experts have to wade through and give their time to. And the key here is to filter these out as quickly as possible so they're not wasting you or your team's precious time. So the way that our 7-figure advisors fine-tune their funnel is to include specific elements to achieve 3 key outcomes. Let's get an idea of what this looks like in action with a classic sales funnel. So in the Connect section of your workbook, you'll see this example funnel. Let's just run through it quickly. Let's say your traffic source is you run some ads. Okay, the leads from the ads, let's say they're Facebook ads. Leads click to get the lead magnet or whatever, and they click through to the landing page with the opt-in form. Okay, you take their contact info so that you can keep engaging those 35% who qualified prospects who will buy down the track. Okay, so that's your 35% here. Okay. Then you bring all of those leads that give you that information, you bring them to the next page, which offers an upsell invitation to your conversion event. And that one is right here. So you've got your authority amplifier, video sales letter, maybe some additional videos down here. And this is to capture that 5% who are ready to go right now. Okay, they've just got the lead magnet, they've given you their details, they're ready to go. So why not put them into your conversion event straight away? So that's what we do. Now, there's another pit. And what we want to do is, now, first of all, by putting these two in, obviously, this is switching you from a trickle to a flood of hot leads because you're grabbing them all straight away. Now, your conversion event will probably take up someone's time. And we know 60% of prospects won't become clients because they don't qualify. So we need to weed those 60% out automatically. And we do that here with the questionnaire. Okay, before they can actually confirm your conversion event, they need to answer some questions correctly. You decide what the questions are that filter out the time wasters and make sure that only the ones that answer the correct questions correctly actually get through. So that is your fine-tuned funnel. Let's take a look at this in action. Volkswagen were investing heavily in digital ad campaigns. Brand awareness was high, but the German car maker needed tangible results to measure KPIs. We settled on test drives booked as the best metric. And so we created an online ad campaign promoting a car for the weekend competition. After submitting their entry, visitors landed on a thank you page that invited them to book a test drive and asked a few qualifying questions. So by inviting those 5% who were hot to buy to take that next step now, Volkswagen saw the highest uptake of test drives from a digital campaign ever. The fine-tuned funnel marked a significant shift in how the company converted digital interactions into real-world actions. The campaign won a slew of awards too, including the Australian Direct Marketing Awards. It won the Effectiveness Award at Volkswagen's internal Global Awards, and it was a finalist in the auto category at the Digital Media Awards. So the power of fine-tuning your funnel isn't limited to big brands. This is Rob. Now, Rob founded an online small business lender. Standing out against bigger, more established lenders was challenging for Rob. One of our agency teams helped Rob's company fine-tune their funnel. And this involved optimizing their lead generation and conversion strategies to ensure they capitalize better on qualified leads and minimize time wasted on the unqualified ones. Within just 12 months, Rob saw a 91% increase in site visits and a very healthy 79% increase in site conversions. So once you've fine-tuned your funnel, the second project in your Connect phase is automate authority. And this piece is key to going from being perhaps a fairly unknown player to, frankly, one of the leaders in your small piece of the market. And the key ingredient here is the right simple CRM or customer relationship management systems that warm up your leads on autopilot. Our clients install a proven series of marketing and sales automation emails and texts that make sure your leads are being engaged, nurtured, warmed up, and followed up in the short term and the long term, and booked into your calendar, all on autopilot. So without you or your team having to remember to lift a finger or do anything with them. Now, let's see how effective the automate authority element can be. The Royal Bank of Scotland RBS website had grown a bit chaotically over the years, so the site wasn't delivering the new leads that it should be. Our team at Sapient Nitro in London knew the website needed to automate authority by delivering the right content at the right time for the right prospect or customer. So we restructured the website to sort visitors into life stages like school leaver, first home buyer, new family, empty nester, etc. Each life stage generally had a similar set of needs, so we created systems to deliver the right content and offers that match the needs of each life stage. This structured, automated approach significantly boosted engagement and streamlined the process of converting prospects into customers and upselling existing customers to new financial products. But again, the principles of automate authority apply no matter what size your business. This is Matt. He founded a peer-to-peer lending company and margins weren't high, and Matt needed to achieve some ambitious growth goals. Problem was, traffic wasn't as strong as it needed to be and prospects weren't staying engaged online. One of our agency teams applied the principles of Automate Authority, restructuring the lender's website to target specific niche needs, while automated email campaigns and niche-related content maintained continuous engagement and nurtured leads on autopilot. Within 12 months, Matt's company saw a 155% growth in year-over-year traffic, driving over 4,000 leads per month for a prolonged surge in borrowers. Now, you'll recall from our traffic light audit, the fast track requires you to nail 3 core projects. Of the 3 accelerators in the Connect phase, this next one, Rally Tribe, is the most critical to scaling rapidly. And I promised you the fast track today. So let's take a look at that. Now, we have time to go more deeply into this and workshop some of the key elements together. So let's have a quick look. Now, first of all, before we get started, let me ask, do you already have an online community? Just type in the chat for me. Have you tried it? Have you thought about it? Never considered it? Just put in the chat, where are you at with this? Okay, some tried it, some have got one, haven't tried, bit of a mix. Okay, great. Well, look, wherever you're at, we have a process to make it super simple to spin up your tribe from scratch or simply optimize your existing community. So first up, to borrow from Simon Sinek, we like to start every module with the why. Okay, why are we doing this? Why can't we just skip this piece? The why here is leads. So first up, let's get a gauge of how important this leads piece is for you. This is the 6 states of lead flow. So this will identify the why. Now, leads sustain your business. So our target in the Connect phase is to get you hot leads on tap, as we said. And so we think of lead flow like water flowing through your tap. You turn the tap to get more leads, and what happens? Well, generally, you can be in one of 6 places. So I'm going to go through them. Just take note and think about where you're at on this scale. So first up, either the tap is blocked, okay, there's no new leads coming through. You have to keep reworking old prospects again and again, praying for referrals or repeat business to make up the shortfall. That's blocked. Next, you might have a few leads, but the pipeline is leaky. Okay, so people come in and then at some point through the sales process, they fall out. And so that's your leaky. Next, you have what we call rusty. Your customers aren't working. They're not really the right quality. Your systems aren't working, rather, and your prospects aren't really the right quality. There's some flow, but it's mostly poor quality, unqualified leads, price shoppers, and time wasters. So that's rusty. Next, you might have a trickle. Now, this could be some cause for optimism. So some consistently, it's enough leads to survive, but it's not enough leads to really grow and hit those big goals. And then you've got a flow. Enough leads coming consistently to grow at a steady pace and be on track to hit your goals. Or maybe you've got a flood, which is really our goal, right? A flood of new leads on tap whenever you need them. So let's check in. Which one of these 6 states of flow best applies to your business right now? Just put it in the chat. Let's get a feel for it. Okay, so we've got a lot sort of around that middle section. Some down the bottom, not good. Okay. All right. So we're mostly kind of in the bottom half, which is interesting because there are 6 levels. But really, if we're super clear about this, it's only two categories here. Okay. There's either not enough leads to grow and scale and be hitting your goals. All right. Or there is enough leads to grow and scale and hit your goals. So you're either in the green zone up top in flow or flood and on track to growing, or you're not there yet. And to get you to 7 figures a year, we need to switch you from here up to here. Okay? Up into the green zone. And until you do that, really, it's going to be next to impossible for you to grow and scale your business. So that's what we're going to talk about right now. That is our why. Okay, so now let's get an idea of the importance to everyone here with a quick question. How has poor lead flow hurt you? Thinking about it, particularly for those in that bottom half who haven't had great lead flow, how has that hurt you? Or how is that still hurting you now? Yeah. Struggle. Yeah. Slow. Yeah. Painful. Yeah. Right. So this is painful. So as I said, to get to 7 figures a year, a critical step is to get your lead flow into the flow or the flood state. Now, there's one reliable strategy that will get you on track for that green part of the leads pyramid in a way that is leveraged. So it's easy to manage with little time cost. And this is the community or tribe built around your simple, scalable signature system. Okay, so what's great is that you can set this up in a couple of hours and just have it working day and night for you. I'll show you how to set it up in a minute. And when you do this right, you quickly start generating the fresh leads every day. Now, our clients follow a strategy that makes it super easy to invite new tribe members to your group every day, where you can easily continue nurturing and even converting these new daily leads with little effort. When you have a strong lead flow, or a strong flow rather, of qualified new leads every day, we install a super simple system that you run to turn those leads every day into clients every week. And the best part is you can do this in as little as an hour a month and 15 minutes a week. So once your simple community is set up, you can be engaging your members with a couple of hours each month, basically. So let's get this set up for you now with the first step, the Daily Lead Accelerator. Our clients use specific templates and checklists to help you structure and launch your online community fast. The right group structure is the key to letting you build, grow, and manage your tribe efficiently in just minutes a day. The Lead Accelerator is the foundation of the Rally Tribe project. Okay, so we'll workshop 2 key strategies in this system today so you really get this and get started. Now, the first is automate your initiation. So Facebook designed its groups to create plenty of lead generation opportunities, and you need to capitalize on these. That includes things like new member questions, welcome posts, hand raiser posts, invitations to call, etc. Today, I'll show you how to automate your initiation with some frameworks that make it surprisingly simple. And then once you've automated your initiation, it's time to grow your tribe. You need the system to grow your tribe on autopilot as much as possible. And the key here is to find and add new perfect avatar Facebook friends daily and invite them to join your tribe. And you can do this yourself, or you can use a VA to find the right friends for you each day. Once Facebook knows what kind of perfect avatar friends you're targeting, then the algorithm starts to suggest more qualified people to invite. And so we get to leads every day. So let's get some of this done now, starting with step 1, name it and claim it. Now, a lot of people will tell you the name of a product needs to say what it does on the tin. And for many of my years in the big digital agencies, that was our motto. But that's a bit outdated now. You see, these days, we all have lightning short attention spans. And so today, in those first precious seconds, you need to tell me not just what it does, the features, but what result it delivers. So the benefit. Then you might hook me in to read more. And so that's what we consider when naming your Facebook group. And for even better appeal, maybe even call out your niche in the name as well. For example, for us, our free Facebook group is named Advice Clients, Daily Client Acquisition for Advisors, Consultants, and Experts. Now, you'll find this worksheet in the Rally Tribe section of your workbook. Just jot down your first draft names and taglines as we go. Don't think about it too much, or you can write it in a pad. Just jot down that first version that comes to mind in this format so you can review and rework it later. Next step, ask and it shall be given. And the key here is to make sure your joining questions are doing as much heavy lifting for you as possible. The right joining questions help you fine-tune your Facebook group in the same way that we fine-tuned your funnel in Accelerator 4. Remember Dean Jackson's 3 prospect types, the 5% hot to go now, the 35% who will be ready to buy at some point, and the 60% who will never qualify. So we have 3 joining questions to ask, and each addresses one of these groups. So you'll find this worksheet in your workbook. Ask and it shall be given. The first question is simple enough to require no critical thought. It's a simple yes or no answer, but at the same time, it stops many of the 60% non-qualified prospects from joining. We trialed different options, but our original version worked really well, and it was simply this. This group is for advisors, consultants, and experts who want to add an additional 7 figures of revenue with a scaled digital offering. Are you currently operating as an advisor, consultant, or expert service provider? Now, if they answered no, they don't gain access. If it's yes, the next question is designed to capture those 35% mid to long-term prospects. And the key here is to get an email address, possibly a phone number. So ours asks, what's your best email address to receive special invitations to attend our live weekly training classes? Your email address will be used to send out additional content and promotional material that we think you'll love. And then finally, the third question sorts for that 5% who are keen to take the next step now. It asks, we specialize in helping advisors, consultants, and experts create and sell scalable digital offerings that add an additional 7 figures annual revenue. Would you like us to private message you the details explaining how? Type yes or no below. And so you'll find these joining questions in your workbook, so you can model these to create your own. That last one focuses on that hot 5%. And if they're really hot and they're keen to go, they type yes, and we can get started bringing them into the conversion event fast. So then the next piece of the Facebook setup, put your welcome to work. This is the critical piece. Your new members will see your welcome post as soon as they land in the group. So every single member will see this. It's a great opportunity to nurture on autopilot. So when you structure this post right, it becomes a very powerful piece of marketing. You'll find our welcome message is in your workbook. So let's break that down. I'll explain a few critical pieces of the framework now. So just to look at that, and you can work in the worksheet, just get an idea of your own, just jot down some notes as I go through. So this is the framework to make sure that your welcome post is on track. Number 1, introduce yourself in the first paragraph or 2. Most people joining your group won't yet know who you are. So then number 2, tell people exactly what to do next. Now, whether that's by watching one of your recent live streams or getting an additional lead magnet on your website, perhaps, or watching videos in your Facebook group guide section, etc. Next, step 3, have people add you as a friend on Facebook if you're not already, because your personal algorithm affects your reach inside your group. Number 4, include a clear, authoritative picture of yourself. And number 5, tag new members who join your group in the welcome post to make sure they see it. Now, once you have your Facebook group set up right, you have the leads every day piece covered. Before we move on, let me just ask, what are the best things so far? So what are the best takeaways you've had from this, this piece around rallying your tribe? Let's just get an idea of things. What did you learn? What did you notice? What do you want to share? Just type it in the chat. And by the way, if you want to see these welcome pieces in action, you can just copy exactly how we welcomed you into our new Advice Advantage Facebook group. When you registered for this webinar, we invited you to become a member of our new group. So if you haven't yet joined us there, love you to join. We'll put the link in the chat for those who haven't joined yet. So let's see what we have from people so far, the insights, the ahas, the best things so far. Yeah, it is critical. Yeah, it does make it super easy. Leverage is key. Yeah, a lot of insights here. Okay, now your group is optimized and generating qualified leads every day. Now, the next critical piece is to turn those leads every day into clients every week. And to do that, as I mentioned, you install the weekly client engine. So the weekly client engine converts those leads every day into clients every week. Let's break it down. Now, the first piece is engage your tribe. Each week, you run a 15 to 20-minute workshop about one piece of your simple, scalable signature system. So you've already done all this work to create the system, and now you're leveraging that work. So through the week, you then engage your tribe with a series of posts about the upcoming workshop. Say you run the workshop Thursday, and then you build anticipation with posts at the beginning of the week, and then you follow up with posts after the workshop to drive more people into that next step. So the idea here is to launch strong every week. And to make this super easy, you do all this with templates. So each week you use the same content template for Monday, another one for Tuesday, another for Wednesday, etc. So you generate the week's content fast. Each week, the topic of your content changes to another one of your 6 or 9 modules. So even though it's the standard Monday template, the content is fresh and new because it's a new topic. And because you're talking about one of your 6 to 9 hero modules, you've already done most of the content creation work in your Alchemize system project. Super simple. Make sense? Now, there's a secret to how you share your content with your tribe. And if you forget this, you'll be bogged down in so much work and win very few clients to your efforts. So let's look at that secret. The idea is to share know-how. You want freedom. So content must take minimum time to create. What's more, you don't want to share so much that there's no incentive for people to become a client. The solution here is to repurpose your premium paid work as free marketing. And the secret is in how I've written this slide. See in the know-how in capitals, it says know how. So we share the what to do and the why to do it in public, but you only teach the how to do it in your private paid groups. And then once you're engaging your tribe in this way, from time to time, you need to invite your tribe. So regularly invite tribe members to engage with hand raiser posts. These posts offer your lead magnet and invite people to comment on the post to get the magnet. When anyone raises their hand for your lead magnet, they're self-qualifying. They're saying, I know I have a problem and I'm looking for solutions. So now you have the chance to magnetize your method. Your lead magnets all live inside your fine-tuned funnel, acting as a magnet to draw prospects down your funnel. So after they raise their hand, you send prospects to a dedicated landing page where they get that lead magnet in exchange for their contact details, and the conversation continues, either in the DMs or in the emails. Now, this is one of the key ways that the weekly client engine turns those leads every day into clients every week. So a quick question, what ideas has this sparked for you now? Let's just get an idea. What ideas are people getting here? Yeah, it does all fit together. Yeah. The leads every day and clients every week, it's the foundations of the system. That's right. Yeah. People are getting some great ideas. I'm glad to see everybody's getting this and understanding how it works and what it can do. So now, look, let's put this into practice. I'll share a piece of the system with you now so you can get started building your own weekly client engine. This piece is called the weekly launch cycle. Okay, now this is in your workbooks, so you're going to be able to reference this later. You can come back and build this out for yourself. So this is the framework that our 7-figure advice clients use, and it makes this whole thing super simple. It's under the Rally Tribe section in the workbook. So I'll explain each day's template, and you can take some notes on what yours might look like. So your week looks like this. Monday, we use the Belief Buster post to install a better belief around the topic. For example, let's say we're theming this week around our Alchemize System Accelerator. We might post something like, many advisors think they need to do 100% of what each client needs. Our 7-figure advisors focus on helping clients with that scalable 20% that gets the 80% result for a much larger client base. And then the next step, Tuesday, is the hand raiser post. So we get them to raise their hands for the new helpful lead magnet. For example, it might be, hey, I just created a 5-page PDF around how to create a scalable online program. Comment alchemy if you want a copy. Okay. And then on Wednesday, it's the share proof, and that's your case study day. And so this is just it's a simple case study to demonstrate the efficacy or effectiveness of your offer. And then Thursday, it's lights, camera, action, and this is where you go live. So the post might be 3 bullets around this topic. What is it? Why is it important? And this is the benefit you'll get when you join us live today. Then we go on the live on the Facebook Lives, run a mini workshop for about 15, 20 minutes around one of our modules. And remember, it's the what and the why, not the how. Perhaps I discuss, the what and the why of the Alchemized system. Once it's done, we download the video, we share that across all social channels. And then on Friday, it's a follow-up. For us, we're inviting the next step, regardless how you follow up. For us, we use the 9-word sales letter. This is another Dean Jackson gem. It's just a very short note to spark a follow-up conversation. For example, are you still thinking of creating a scalable advice offering so you can grow your business fast? And that's it. And then we get some interaction, we keep the conversation going. The idea here is not to sell, it's simply to re-engage. So if a prospect engages, then they may be ready for the next step. Next, it's Sunday, so we'll take Saturday off to rest. Sunday, we'll replay the video and we'll invite the action again. So the CTA or call to action on the video might be, hey, want a copy of the worksheet? Comment below, or if you're watching this on my page, click the download button below. There's another hand raiser that brings prospects back into your finely tuned funnel for them to click the download. That's the worksheet. And so that's an overview of the weekly client engine. It may look like a lot of moving parts, but actually it's very simple and highly leveraged. So with our templates and checklists for each day, our 7-figure advisors are able to nail this in no time. So can I just quickly ask, what kind of impact would this have in your business? If you were to install these systems in your business, so that you have these systems just leveraged and working for your business, what kind of impact would that be making, do you think? Let's just get it in the chat. Yeah, big. Yeah. Game changer. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So a lot of people are really seeing the power of this, which is great. Great. Yeah. Okay, so next question. Free group or paid group? Okay, so here really there's 2 options. All we're thinking about is probably long term, you'll end up like most of our clients with 2 groups. One that's free and public for generating leads every day and clients every week, and another group where you deliver your solutions to paying clients in a really leveraged way. You might even have 3, so you've got 2 different pricing options on your paid groups. But for now, let's just think about the next steps. Is the next focus for you building a free Facebook group to bring people into your funnel and help them become clients? Or is it to build a paid group to deliver your solutions to the paid clients you already have? Just type into the box, which one feels like the next one for you? Okay, a lot of free groups, some paid, mostly free. Yeah. Okay, so I think the free are around 80%, and that makes sense. Yeah, it's generally the best way to start. Now, that being said, let's just check in. Now, we've talked about a ton of stuff at the start of the session today. I brought you to this page. It's called Insights and Actions. It's on page 3 or 4 of your workbook. I want you to go to your Insights and Actions page, and just in this piece here, this Connect and Rally Tribe piece, I want you to write down what are the 3 things that you already know you need to change when it comes to keeping your funnel full and making sure you're getting all the leads and sales opportunities that you need, just so that you can have more fun, enjoy greater freedom, and you can impact more people, you can generate more cash flow. I'm just going to give you 60 seconds now. Just share in the chat when you're ready. What are the 3 things you already know you need to do differently? I think a lot of people know they need to build a tribe, lead a tribe. Yeah. Yeah, you can lead a tribe to water. Yeah. And help them drink. Yeah, that's right. A lot of automation. Yeah. It's really all about automation and leverage. Once that's in place, that's really the key to the scale. I love that. Okay. Now, let's switch gears right at the start, we said we're going to do three things today. We're going to do alchemize your system. We're going to do a bit of work around rally your tribe, which we just overviewed and dived into a bit. And then the key to maximum scalability, we'll talk about how to sell in workshops. So let's talk about actually leading those prospects into the sale and onto their promised land in a way that is totally aligned with your true north and those elements of scale. So building more money, deeper fulfillment, and greater freedom for yourself into your business. So this takes place in the last phase of our seven-figure plan, and that's right here in the lead section. I'll give you the framework to easily build your workshop. I'll also break down the 7 strategies you need to maximize attendance and sales at your workshops. So these workshops work incredibly well for selling your services. They also let you deliver your services in the same one-to-many format after clients sign with you. So when you get this dialed in for your business, then not only your client acquisition, but also your client delivery are both super leveraged and scalable. Does everyone get that? Let's just give me a yep in the chat if this is making sense. Yep, lots of yeps, great. Okay, so just before we get into this last piece of this workshop, we'll take a few minutes break, stretch or relax, grab a drink or do a bit of creative work around your rally tribe piece that we just did while the ideas are fresh in your mind. Let's rally back here in 3 minutes, come back fresh, ready to nail this final piece of the fast track plan, sell in workshops. So let's just take a few minutes now. Okay, let's jump back into it. So here we are in the final phase of your 7-figure advice model. We're in the lead phase now, where you lead your prospects into the sale and take them from their problems at hand to their promised land. Let's look at how you'll do that. So you'll recall from our Genius model, this is the last of the three phases. There are three projects or accelerators in this process. There's fast track content, scale sales, and sell in workshop. Let's break each of these down. And it begins with fast track content. Now, in this accelerator, we're running more diverse content creation strategies that will work for you across social media, email, you name it. Like the weekly client engine, the key here is to use our proven templates and simply swap out your signature system topics each week. So the 6 to 9 modules you created for yourself. We then add in a range of other templates and topics to add greater dimension and appeal. Combining our templates with the right prompts and an AI platform like ChatGPT is the key to getting this all done super fast track. When our seven-figure advisors get fast track content right, you differentiate your brand in a crowded market, you build loyalty and drive conversions by channeling social media engagement back into your tribe and into your fine-tuned funnel. So let's take a look at this in action. So TAL Insurance, one of the country's leading life insurers, they have over 5 million customers. They face the usual challenges of a highly regulated market, and they found it hard to stand out and generate loyalty. I designed frameworks to implement the fast track content process to reinvigorate TAL's content. The new approach mixed helpful insights with inspirational stories across social media posts, promotional content, and articles. TAL's new content was both useful and relatable for the target audience, and the whole thing followed a formulaic approach that fast-tracked the content production, so TAL were able to share engaging material quickly and efficiently. TAL saw a significant increase in social media engagement, which was channeled back into the fine-tuned sales funnel to boost conversions. And this helped TAL stand out from the competition, created brand loyalty, and drove measurable business growth. And of course, the approach works just as well for smaller businesses too. This is Richard. Richard is former MD at Google and a really smart guy. When he left Google to launch his AI startup, I was brought in to help bring their revolutionary tech to the attention of the right people. Now, given that it was a few years ago, part of our strategy had to address the general ignorance around AI, which couldn't be explained through short-form posts alone. So our strategy used short-form content to capture initial interest and drive traffic, and then long-form content and white papers to educate and inform the audience more deeply around the AI and its capabilities. Fast-track content led to significant business growth and market recognition for the AI startup, and Richard's AI offering hit the KPIs to secure further funding at solid valuations and bolster their position in the market. So now the second accelerator in our lead phase is scale sales. Here we focus on three crucial parts of the sales process to scale the money you're generating from your advice, consulting, or expertise. Now let's break these down. So here we have the scaled sales trifecta. I'm just going to quickly lay it all out for you. So the first part of the scaled sales trifecta, I think we'll go with green here because this is really what you want. Chat sales accelerator. So use simple DM messages, maybe in Facebook, to qualify and convert your tribe's comments and DMs into booked appointments. This is a super powerful templated message sequence, and it qualifies and invites your prospect to that next step, which is part 2 the triage call. So our clients use a quick 10-minute triage call to determine whether a prospect is a good fit or not. And only if they're a good fit will they allocate time for a full-length one-on-one sales process, a sales call with those prospects that qualify. And so that brings us to the third part of the scaled sales trifecta. And this is really the key. Once you get this right, It's the game changer to scaling. Your 9-box strategy session. So this format feels bespoke for your prospect, but it's highly templated and it enrolls new clients weekly without any pressure. Our 7-figure advisors use it to provide real value and actionable insights, ensuring that the prospect feels understood. And even if it's delivered poorly at first, you can still expect a high conversion ratio. So your sales calendar will fill up with ready-to-buy clients. Now let's take a look at this idea in action. So, Credit Suisse is an international wealth management, investment banking, and financial services firm. They were struggling to scale past a certain point because signing new high net worth or HNW clients required the bank's relationship managers or RMs to gather detailed information to tailor proposals. But high net worth clients were cautious about sharing personal details, and so the process was really slow. Credit Suisse needed a way to automate the process of building trust, gathering some quite personal client information for the RMs. We designed a robo-advice platform that gave personalized investment insights in return for the prospect's personal information. So as they shared more, the robo-advisor would provide instant personalized advice and recommendations. So prospective clients felt understood and valued, and they were more willing to open up about things like life stage, net worth, revenues, risk tolerance, goals, and timelines. The automation significantly streamlined the sales process for Credit Suisse, saving time and helping Credit Suisse to create more compelling wealth management offerings at a greater scale and ultimately boosting client acquisition and satisfaction. As always, the principle works just as well with small businesses. So this is Paul. Paul founded an online small loan provider specializing in small loans for people with less than perfect credit ratings. In a challenging market requiring careful qualification of prospects, Paul's company had some systems in place, but they weren't sufficiently automated, and so it limited the amount of new business they could handle. Now, one of our agency teams revamped their prospect attraction and sales processes, and this included more targeted content to attract the right prospects, as well as a revised funnel structure that followed the scaled sales principles. So by streamlining and automating key parts of their sales funnel in just 7 months, Paul saw an impressive 490% year-on-year growth in created borrower accounts. This transformation enabled the small lender to efficiently manage a larger volume of business and achieved substantial growth in a very challenging market. So now let's review. First, our fast track content module gets more of the right content in front of your perfect prospects, and done right, it brings them into your funnel. And then the scaled sales Accelerator initiates DM chats and/or triage calls that quickly sort the non-buyers from the highly qualified buyers, and then leads them into helpful strategy conversations that sell without being weird and salesy. So this combination allows us to scale your sales. These are the 2 critical steps to skyrocketing conversions of those perfect prospects into ideal clients at that 3 to 5K price point. Now, of the 3 accelerators in the lead phase, the third one, Sell with Workshop, is the most critical to scaling rapidly, and I promised you the fast track today. So today we have time to go more deeply into this and workshop some of the key concepts together. So in this final accelerator of our Hero program, our clients design and produce your own 7-figure workshop. So you've got a clear framework for generating multiple ideal clients at once in this easy one-to-many format. Once this is dialed in, you can market, sell, and serve all at scale. Confidently invite a large group to join you, knowing they'll all get great value, and those qualified prospects among them will want to buy your offer fast. This one-to-many approach gives you the absolute maximum leverage, which is why I'm going to share this piece in more detail with you today. If you want the fast track to scaling your advice or expertise, this is the critical third piece. Now, why is scaling so important? Well, to answer that, I want to talk briefly about the income gap. Now, if you think about the typical advisor earnings, the median pay is under $100,000 a year. Now, that's according to recent statistics, and only about 10% make over $240,000 a year. So the vast majority of advisors are earning five figures or low six figures at best. So that's the income for all this. The vast majority are just earning that five to low six figures. Do that again, just indicate. So the vast majority earning that five to low six figures. And then there's a tiny few, and that tiny few, they hit that seven-figure mark, or even high six figures. So consultants have similar figures. Some expert categories are doing a bit better, but still, it's the small minority that reaches that elusive seven figures. So the question is, what's the difference between those who reach seven figures and those who don't? Are they better advisors, better consultants or experts? Well, some might be, but many aren't. We've all seen those peers and competitors who don't offer exceptional advice, but they still earn significantly more. And the difference is often just because they've mastered one crucial skill, and that is selling their advice in a way that makes people want to buy it. And so the quickest way to go from here to here is to learn this one skill. And if you can do that, then bam, magic can happen. And if you don't, then unfortunately, you're probably going to be one of the many great advisors who can't convert enough prospects into clients to reach that top level. And so to build on that idea, the one skill to go from here to here is to be able to turn prospects into clients at scale. That is to say, in a one-to-many format. So that being said, why workshops? Why choose workshops as our priority scaling niche, vehicle rather? After all, an effective workshop doesn't come together overnight. It will take time to plan and prepare and launch and market. So why make all that time investment? Well, there are three very good reasons. First, high mutual value. Workshops allow you to share valuable advice and help your prospects to win. And this gives you the opportunity to build that know, like, and trust and have qualified leads give you their valuable attention and time long enough to demonstrate your value and sell. The next very good reason to use a workshop to scale is that it positions you as an expert. Sharing valuable, helpful, insightful information around your subject matter allows you to build considerable authority in your space and become the go-to expert when people are ready to engage, help to get the outcomes they want. The third good reason we use workshops is that they offer leveraged selling. You can help and engage and sell to dozens or more prospects in the same amount of time it might take to prepare and deliver one-on-one presentation to a single prospect. And these three reasons put you in a very strong position to hit your monthly income goal this week and next week and the week after. So what I want to do right now is to find out, have you tried to sell with workshops before? Just do me a favor, type it in yes or no. Just want to get a bit of a gauge of where you're at with that. If you tried to sell with workshops before, okay, a lot haven't, some have. Okay, great. Now, I don't know about you. If you've tried it already, maybe you found this, or maybe not. But really, when it comes to selling with workshops, there are two big problems. You might spend weeks getting your workshop right, and then you show up on the day raring to go and share what you know of the world, and then problem number one, low numbers. Nobody shows. Has anyone had that happen? It's the worst. All that work for nothing. And so then the other big problem is you get plenty of show-ups, you lead a great workshop, you teach your heart out, leave it all on the field, and then low sales, or even worse, no one buys. Has anyone had that? Now, the good news is there are only 5 classic mistakes that cause either or both of these 2 big problems. And when you know why workshops fail, it makes it a lot easier to avoid these risks and create workshops that win. So now let's review the 5 classic workshop mistakes. If you're making these mistakes, you're massively increasing your risk of low numbers or low sales. So classic mistake number 1, a weak frame. A solid structure to your workshop is crucial. Without it, your workshop won't flow and the sale at the end won't feel like the next logical step, won't feel natural. A weak frame undermines your authority and costs you both attention and sales. Classic mistake number 2, TMI. Sharing too much information overwhelms people. As experts, we want to help by teaching everything we know, but too much detail leads to inaction and confusion. Remember, a confused mind never buys. And then classic mistake number 3, meh offers. A meh offer gets an indifferent response. If your offer doesn't clearly convey value, isn't compelling enough, or doesn't reduce perceived risk, it falls flat. Think of Frank Castle's catchphrase, "Tell him he's dreaming," if you know who Frank Castle is. Classic mistake number 4, finishing before they do. Now, don't let your workshop climax too soon. You've put in so much effort to get here, and the end is your payoff. So why on earth cut it short? After making your offer, some will say yes, some will say no, and some will say maybe. So stopping early misses out on converting those maybes into yeses. And then classic mistake number 5 is seizing half the day. Many would-be workshop superstars focus all their effort on the event itself, neglecting big opportunities before and after the event. If you only work on the workshop and you neglect to put effort into maximizing the signups, the attendance, and the sales, you're seizing half the day, not the whole day. So you need to avoid these 5 classic workshop mistakes to ensure success in your workshop. So our 7-figure advisors use the system that I designed to do just that, and it's called the Workshop Superstar System. We have templates and checklists that make this a breeze for clients, but I'll give you the overview today so you can get started creating some key elements yourself and get your new workshop event off on the right foot. We'll review the 5 hot principles of a successful workshop, and then we're going to do a bit of work around the 2 most important pieces. And I'm going to make sure that you have a framework for your own highly successful workshop, and B, a plan to maximize the cash flow when you launch it. Does that sound good? Fantastic. Okay, now first up, the 5 hot principles to a successful workshop. Now, these are the principles behind this system. Principle number 1, build in reverse. So first create the last section, the selling part. This lets you decide which workshop sections will lead naturally to that sale. And then finally, craft the beginning, the hook and the intro that will best lead into those workshop sections. I'll share the full structure that our 7-figure advisors use shortly. Principle number 2 is teach. Oh, that's number 1, is teach, do, sell, and repeat. Only teach as much as people need to make a buying decision. Help them see new possibilities and then share the experience of implementation with some doing activity. This helps your audience feel progress and motivates the qualified ones to join your program. Principle number 3, make the offer a no-brainer. Be clear about the benefits of your offer, how it works, how to get it. Lead with the benefits, explain the features, and then deliver the call to action. Our 7-figure advisors use the Offer Octagon framework, which includes bonuses and risk reversal to make the offer irresistible. And then principle number 4, kick off the after party. After the workshop, start the after party to prolong the climax of the event. Celebrate new buyers. Hey, Sarah, excited to work with you. Jim, welcome to the program. Future pace the next steps, explain what happens next and the bonuses they'll receive. And then lastly, the Q&A. Open the floor to questions, maintaining high energy and addressing any concerns. And then principle number 5, compel every next step. Guide prospects from cold lead to delighted client by thinking through the smaller decisions they make along the way to the workshop, through the workshop, and after the workshop. Our seven-figure advisors focus on 7 critical points of leverage using my Star Maker framework to create a clear, compelling path leading attendees each step of the way and into the sale. So now, let's get some of this done. I'll share the Star Maker framework with you today, and you can get an idea of what you'll create in your own Star Maker framework to compel every next step for your audience. So here we have the Star Maker system. Now, I promised you the fast track today, and this is one of the greatest leverage pieces when it comes to generating returns from your workshops. Now, we've got to keep this tight to time, so I'm going to rip through these pretty quickly. Take note and just think about what these might mean for you. Now, the 7 key elements of leverage in our Star Maker system are these. First, we have sign up. This is the emails, the posts, even the ads or cold calling that gets people signed up to your event. Number 2, we have speed up. And now this is really critical. Everyone that signs up is a self-qualified prospect. And remember Dean Jackson's model. 5% are ready to go now. So why make them wait 10 days or 7 days until the event to buy your thing? After they register, book them in for your conversion event right now. And then number 3 is show up. Everyone who signs up is busy, people forget things, so it's up to you to remind them and to indoctrinate them and keep them excited to show up to your event. And you can do a lot of this work on autopilot. And then number 4 is stay up. Structure the webinar to hook them and give them an incentive to stay throughout the duration. And part of that is number 5, which is play up. Keep your event fun, make it interactive, keep people involved with questions and engagement and feedback. Give people a workbook to work from and to follow along and to get involved. Number 6 is pay up. This is the irresistible segue and the structure of your offer. So I mentioned the offer octagon. There are some critical elements to your offer that you want to have to encourage people to sign up and pay up. And then number 7 is follow up. A lot of people need time to think about these things. Or maybe they've, had to jump off the workshop early and they didn't get to hear the end of the workshop and the sales proposal and the invitation. So make sure people have plenty of opportunities to pay up after the event. So we give our clients proven templates to make this piece super easy to spin up. But you can easily create your own, just following these principles and a bit of ChatGPT time, to be fair. So now, quick question. I want to get an idea. What ideas has this sparked for you? Let's get an idea. What ideas are you having? Okay, so people are seeing that this can be quite easy. I mean, yeah, it's particularly once you've got some experience with it and some practice, it can come together really easily. And yeah, once you've got these frameworks in place, it's night and day difference between the difficulty of putting this all together by yourself or just following what I'm outlining today and using that as your map. It does make it a whole lot easier. Right, great. So now I promised that I'd share with you our Star Maker model and also a framework that we share with clients to create your own high converting workshop. So let's get to that now. So the winning workshop model is what we give to our clients. I'm going to give you a quick overview of this today. We're also going to put the link into the chat now. So click on that link. You can download your own copy of this framework. As I promised, keep this safe because it's a very valuable tool for building out your own workshops in the most effective way that I know. And it just makes the whole thing super simple for you. Just click the link in the chat, download this framework for yourself, and then you can follow on. So this document basically walks you through how our clients structure the slide deck for their workshop and the script. So most of these bullets, as you can see, represent a slide. You start off with your welcome aboard, name of the workshop. You grab attention at the very beginning by announcing the big promise and the problems it solves, making sure that both resonate with your audience. So here we are in the frame section, just up at the beginning. Right up front, you want to get permission for your style and your content, and you get permission to sell as well. Tell them about who you are, what the content is today. And the key part here is to share and explain your alchemized system and your whole genius model. This gives people the map of the whole presentation. Follow the bullets down to the stick strategy, down towards the bottom of this frame section, because the stick strategy is key to really get people hooked and interested and see the value in sticking around. And then we're going to ask people, so what's the hardest part for you about whatever your topic is? And this gets the connection and the interactivity started. You want to be asking questions throughout for this purpose. And then for each of the 3 content blocks, as we get to the reveal step, you introduce the topic you talk about and place it inside your genius model so everyone knows where they are in your system. Then you go into detail on that small piece. If they don't get it right, this bad thing happens. If you do it right, these great things happen. This is the opportunity. And then you teach the content and you run a bit of a workshop to help people implement and see and feel part of that process so that they can see what's possible in the bigger picture. And then we show proof in our case studies, and then we lead it back to the next piece. Okay, so we're working through your genius model, always leading it back to the next piece. And then throughout the entire show, be sure to create connection through that interactivity. And when we do that, now we're in a position where we can make a direct offer, and people have already said, well, this is exactly what I want. So when you get down here to the show and the ask, it becomes super easy for the qualified members of your audience to take that next logical step with you. Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah. So we have a deck of slide templates that we give to our clients. That makes this whole process a lot easier. But you can certainly take what you've got here and get a good idea of how to put this together for yourself. Now, just a quick question. I want to know, what would be your 3 workshop topics? So do you have an idea of what your 3 topics might be for your workshop? Just put it in the chat. Let's see what ideas people have. Okay, so I can see that some people are starting to get their genius model kind of mapped out, which is fantastic. Yeah, fantastic. This is great. Okay, so a lot of people are getting some great ideas here, which is exactly what we want. And you can go and rework these and you can develop these on your own time a bit more. You've got all the tools you need in the workbook. We've covered a lot. I know. So look, let me ask you another question. How would this impact your business? If you could run a workshop on the ideas that support your business and the ideas that you might have had already or you're still working on, you're able to make sure people sign up and show up, and then you teach your heart out for an hour or 2 hours, whatever your time frame is, and then you invite people to sign with you and you have them say, yes, please. What would that do for your confidence and your business, first of all? If you could teach and do and sell and help people from this leverage process, what's the impact that would make in your business? Exponential. Yeah. So much validation. Yeah. Certainty, congruent. Yes. Fast growth. Yeah, that's right. So now let's just check in. Okay. At the end of each section, I've brought you to this page. It's called Insights and Actions. We're in the 4th and final row here. We're in lead and sell in workshop. What are the 3 changes you already know you need to make when it comes to your sales processes and systems? So you can have more fun and enjoy greater freedom. You can get greater impact for more people and feel that deeper fulfillment. And of course, you can generate more cash flow. So I'm just going to give you 60 seconds right now. Write down those 3 things for you that you already know you need to make, the 3 changes you already know you need to make. Then it'd be great if you could share that with the group. And let's just get an idea of where everybody's at. Start my workshop. Yeah. Streamline everything. Leverage. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Okay, people are getting some great ideas now. All right, this is great. I love that. Okay. So now, if you do that, if we implement the sell in workshop systems that can scale like that, that's how we easily get that green here in this key lead phase. And we build you something that can be generating 15K a month fast and longer term scale up to 7 figures or more. So today we talked about the 3 key fast track accelerators that we need to get green for you. Okay, we need to get Alchemized System, we need to get Rally Tribe, we need to get that sell-in workshop. Okay, so that's your 1, your 2, and your 3, right? That is the fast track, the 7-figure advice plan. Okay, so now let's switch gears now. Let's recap. So we've gone through a lot to help you get this and get it done, or at least part of it. Let's review what we did. So we looked at the why and explaining what a scaled system actually means. So more money, deeper fulfillment, and greater freedom. And we've gone through the what. So the full blueprint to get you there. We talked about the leverage that lets you scale to shift you from that 80% input and 20% output to the 20% input and the 80% output. And then we looked at the processes that you follow to alchemize your system and the rule of 7 ones that let you create once, use often, and sell at scale. And we revealed the Zero to Hero framework that lets you turn your alchemized system into a deliverable, sellable, irresistible hero product. And to get there, we workshopped the 2 cliffs model, clarifying the problems at hand and the promised land. And we reviewed the concentric conversion frame that helps you clarify your offer and solutions. And then we reviewed the alchemy solve or dissolve model to break down your traditional system and discard the unscalable elements. And we covered the coagula, the reconstitute model that lets you rebuild your alchemized system, solving 9 mini problems so that you can build your own scalable 7-figure model and hero program. And you can then create once, use often, and sell at scale. And then once you have your scalable system and your empathized offer to attract your perfect avatar, we looked at the next part of the system. We explored the connect phase and how to get the hot leads on tap. And I shared Dean Jackson's client readiness matrix that underpins our fine-tuned funnel concept and so many of the automations that we have to let you scale. And we saw how Jackson's matrix provides the key frameworks of a fine-tuned funnel. And then we dove deep into the Rally Tribe Accelerator, and we reviewed the 6 states of lead flow. And then we looked at the fresh leads every day. I showed you how to create the fresh leads every day using the Daily Lead Accelerator. We reviewed the secrets to optimizing and automating your Facebook group. We did some workshopping of the key ideas: name it and claim it, ask and it shall be given, and work your welcome. And then once your tribe is automated and growing effortlessly, we looked at the key step to scaling sales the easy way with the weekly client engine that turns those leads every day into clients every week. And we reviewed one of the critical weekly client engine systems for doing this, the weekly launch schedule, that lets you start converting clients in as little as 1 hour a month with 15 minutes a week of preparation. And we explored the principle of magnetize your method, using hand raiser posts to effortlessly bring tribe members into your fine-tuned funnel. And then once you had these key connect pieces in place to make sure you're generating and nurturing hot leads on tap, we shifted focus to the 3rd critical step to scale, and that is the lead piece. And we broke down the scaled sales trifecta of the chat sales accelerator, the triage call, and the streamlined strategy sale. We looked at how many businesses get this scale piece dialed in and the gap between the 7-figure advisors and all the rest. And then we focused on that one piece that's critical to your scaling, which is sell with workshop. And this is the critical accelerator because of the leverage selling in that one-to-many format. And I shared with you our workshop superstar system, harnessing that core concept of teach, do, sell, repeat. And we looked at the Star Maker system to maximize the 7 points of leverage to ensure prospects sign up, speed up, show up, stay up, play up, and pay up. so you can fully monetize your workshops. And I gave you our winning workshop framework. So you have an entire model to create your own high converting workshop. And we got through all that in just a couple of hours, maybe a bit more, which is still pretty good. So I have a question. What would implementing all this do for you? So if you implement all that, what would it do for you? What would it do for your business, for your life? Just write it in the chat for me. Let's get an idea. Big differences, big differences, big life changes by the looks of it. Big changes to the business for sure. And that's absolutely right. Yeah, it would explode. That's right. Yeah, yeah. So I said right at the start of today's workshop, what I want for you more than anything is an advice or consulting or service business that can scale, that gives you more money, deeper fulfillment, and greater freedom. And to do that, we're going to focus on the way you attract and the way you connect and the way you lead in your market. Obviously, we need to have greens all the way around. And the less greens we've got, the more oranges we have, or yellows, and the more reds we have, the harder it's going to be for you to scale. And today we reviewed a bunch of meat on the bones client stories, giving you insight into how these strategies have delivered for our clients over the years. We looked at the success stories of global banks and other large corporates. And we also looked at a bunch of smaller advisors and lenders, brokers, startups, and consultants. And all of them started with one thing, a really clear picture of what they want in the next 12 months. And they all knew the priority projects they'd like to start with. So let me ask you those two questions. What would a really good 12 months look like for you? In terms of results, let's just do kind of dollars in the bank. What would a great monthly income number look like for you in 12 months' time? You've had an amazing year. You've got a great monthly income. You've implemented all the right systems and processes. What would that look like? Just type it in the chat. Right? And the reason you want to be clear about this is the same reason all of these clients that I've showed you were clear about this, that I've shown you, clear about this. You've got to start with a really clear picture of that for yourself. And then the next thing to do is go, okay, if that's what I want to create over the year, what are the 3 key projects I need to focus on for the next 90 days? That's the logical next question. What are those 3 key projects? So I'm going to bring my or our project up on the screen for a second. Just want to ask you, of these 9 projects, which are the 3 that are most important as the next pieces for you? So over this workshop, I've worked you through a ton of case studies of people who've implemented this stuff and achieved the transformation they wanted. And we've looked at the different pieces that they've put into place. So thinking about which are the best 3 for you to implement, let's just get that in the chat. What are people thinking? Okay, so I think the attract is strong for a lot of people, and just getting that scalable model in place, that is the foundation. There's obviously yeah, the lead, yeah, connect as well. It's a bit of a mix, but I think the attract is probably the predominant one. And whatever it is for you, these are the pieces that you can work in the order that's right for you to get this dialed in. Now, look, that being said, you know, we've walked through all these case studies. People have implemented this stuff. They've achieved the transformations they wanted. And there's one case study that we haven't talked about yet. And that case study, well, that's yours. You see, I said I'd share as much as I possibly could in the time we have today, and then I'd let you know where you can go to get more help around this if you want it. And I don't know if you know this, but I'm starting a brand new case study group this month. We have limited numbers, and I'm opening the doors this week, so it's a first come, first served basis. We kick off soon, and over the next 10 weeks, I'm going to be working with a handful of people really closely. I'm walking them through each of the 9 pieces to get their scalable advice framework set up, and we'll get the right systems installed and finessed so they can scale, either as a standalone new revenue stream or a bolt-on system to bring a flood of leads into their existing business models. So you're bringing on heaps of new clients, getting tons of new leads, and you've got a program to sell and deliver and scale easily. Our target is to have you generating at least 15K per month, every month from these systems within 90 days. And the idea here is that my team and I are on hand helping you to install these systems in your business and implement this framework as your own MVP model. So we're keeping it all as simple as possible, giving you everything you need and nothing you don't. So what I'd like to do right now is invite you to join us in the 7-Figure Advice Implementation Program case study group. And so we're going to kick off this case study group starting this month and running over 10 weeks, so that later in the year, when we do our full 12-month 7-Figure Advice program launch, we've just got a ton of results and case studies and stories of clients who've done incredibly well. And I'd love for one of those to be you. So here's the link with the sign-up options. Just go to www.7figureadvice.com/get-started. We'll put that in the chat too, so you can just click that link in the chat to get started now. So the curriculum for the program is really simple. We're going to work on your attract, connect, and lead pieces, right? Just like we've been talking about today, from alchemizing your system and rallying your tribe and selling with workshops and all the other pieces of this framework that we install as accelerators in our 7-Figure Advice system. 1 week at a time, we'll take one scale piece, build it out in your business. Then the next piece, install it, right? And really, it begins with the foundation, which is attract, nailing your attraction in the market. In week 1, we'll focus down and we'll work through our perfect avatar process to give you a clarity on your narrowly defined target audience that you've most likely never had. You'll get laser focused on that one solution for one problem that will really resonate with one highly defined niche market. Next, time to empathize offer. As we empathize your offer, we'll get in the head of that perfect prospect and get to understand and empathize with their most powerful emotional triggers. And then we'll dial in your messaging around the tangible results that speak directly to those most powerful triggers in your market. Next, in Alchemized System, we'll break down and rebuild your advice and expertise into one scalable system that addresses that one core problem with one core solution that guides that one perfect prospect to their promised land. The result? You'll be 100% certain in your ability to deliver real-world results for your clients at scale without burning out. This rock-solid certainty will mean a night and day difference to the ease of your marketing and sales. So that's the first problem solved. We'll solve the next problem together in the connect phase. And here's how we'll solve this problem of lacking leads. As an advisor, consultant, or service-based business owner, it seems like you've got 3 options to generate leads. It's pay for ever more expensive ads, or continually post organic content and hope you get some traction, or hope and pray that the referrals are strong each month. Now, none of those are the fast path to 7 figures. So luckily, we're going to give you a much better way. Our connect phase of this program offers you a sure thing for leads delivery that's B, operated at incredibly low cost in both time and money. And we'll install this next to ensure you're getting a consistent flow of qualified, hands-up, hot leads on tap. First, we need to fine-tune your funnel. This is the key framework that ensures you A, convert all the 5% hottest leads, turning them into opportunities fast. B, capture the 35% qualified prospects so they buy from you down the track when they're ready. And C, filter out the 60% of time wasters before they waste a single minute of you or your team's time. Once that's firing, we'll automate your authority. So you build the know, like, and trust factor with your ideal clients on autopilot. We'll install proven sales automations, including emails and texts that make sure your leads are being engaged, nurtured, warmed up, followed up, even booked into your calendar, all without you or your team lifting a finger. And once the fine-tuned funnel is in place and we're automating your authority, it's time to rally your tribe. We'll build or restructure your Facebook group, designing it so it's a prospect generating machine. We'll install the systems and templates to be attracting up to 50 prospects per day. And then we'll install the most potent client generation system I've seen, the Weekly Client Engine, inside your online community. We'll work on a range of simple posts together that use our proven direct response copy structures to prompt qualified prospects to raise their hand. We have a range of templates that you can repurpose so you can quickly start turning friends and connections into prospects. Then we'll work the comments. And this is where the system really delivers. They say conversions happen in conversations, and our sales process starts here, turning comments into dialogues to see if we're a fit. And so you're turning your leads every day into clients every week. So by now we have hot leads every day, your sales pipeline is full, and that leads us to phase 3, which is lead. In the lead phase of the program, we'll install the systems to help you to effortlessly assume a leadership role in your market. First up, fast track content, creating a simple content conveyor belt that gets strong engagement and turns followers into prospects. Again, we have a range of templates for you to swipe and simply add in the content topics or themes around your own alchemized system and hero program. Next, we come to scaled sales. We'll install the systems to engage and qualify clients in the DMs with just a few templated messages. Step 2, you'll filter out the non-buyers on a very short triage call, and then we'll show you how to have simple, helpful, easy conversations that have people say yes to your high-ticket offer. And the most potent and final step to your fully scaled advice or expertise business, sell in workshop. We'll give you the frameworks and support to help you step onto the virtual stage and sell in your own workshops. We'll go deep on workshops in this program because it's really the key to massive scale, both in marketing, sales, and delivery of your service. We'll lay out the plan and the frameworks for you to develop a workshop just like this one and know exactly how to maximize profitability every time you run it. Now, this is the 7-figure advice system. It's the system we use with our clients. Parts of it you'll recognize from today, but there's a lot more to this. It's the process framework on which all of these 9 accelerators hang. Now, there's some real creative work for you to do in building your own 7-figure advice system. And some will want to do this creative work themselves, and that's great. And that's how this system is designed to work. Well, that being said, we're all busy these days. And so it's also important to leverage tools to help as much as possible. And so as part of the program, I'll show you a very simple way that you can harness the latest AI technology to help you with any or all of the creative work throughout the 9 phases of this program. And I'll let you in on a little secret. I used AI to do a lot of the heavy lifting for me in creating this entire workshop, and I'll show you how to do the same. We now have a small team that's dedicated to researching new and better AI applications every week. It's evolving every week, so we've really got to keep across it. We're developing new prompts and meta prompts each week, as well as our own no-code apps and AI agents to automate a range of marketing functions. So, like I said, there's a new Advice Advantage implementation program, the case study program, starting this month. We have limited numbers, and I'm opening the doors this week. So it's a first come, first served basis. And the way it works, as I said, we focus on 1 new project a week. So each week, I'll get you access to the next scale strategy and accelerator module. The training in each module is available 24/7, so you can go through it at your own pace. And the trainings all sit in your library, which you have ongoing access to, so you can revisit any past week's modules as you need to, as often as you need to. Modules are broken down into a series of bite-sized trainings, generally of up to around 25 minutes apiece. Some of the early ones are longer to give you a solid foundation. Generally, though, 25 minutes apiece, so you can consume this stuff in minutes a day, not hours. And each training piece is broken down into why you need it, what you need to know, how to do it, and then brainstorming a bit and working on these pieces together. And then you'll find a few videos in each accelerator module that address the FAQs around implementing the trainings. We're constantly updating these FAQs as people ask for more help around a certain issue. Each training module has the templates that you need to build it out, like the worksheets, templates, the swipe files that you worked with today. You'll have access to the trainings and all the worksheets, swipe files, checklists, plus the AI prompts, etc., whenever you need them, so you can work through a lot of this when and where it suits you. And as I said, we'll show you a very simple way you can harness the AI to help you throughout the 9 phases of your program. And so that takes away a lot of the heavy lifting. Now, you'll find a whole list of these prompts in the different modules, and these are designed to not replace your own expertise and insight, but simply to augment it. But as I said, this is a doing program, not just a learning program. And I have to make sure that you execute on these strategies, or else, well, you don't give me the awesome case studies that I want from you. So here's how we ensure that you get this stuff done, right? First up, you're going to be in a private Facebook group because community is really important for support, for inspiration, and for accountability. So you'll join a group of like-minded people working on this stuff together with my team and I for the next 10 weeks. So you can ask questions 24/7 and we'll respond. And it's a space where all group members are encouraged to share their insights, mistakes, success stories, feedback, and inspiration. So it's a daily engagement with constant guidance and peer input. You can think of it like a virtual round tabling. Now, it's critical that you have real-time dialogue with me and my team throughout this process. So once a week, myself or one of my coaches will jump on a live advice call with you and the rest of the case study program crew to sharpen, brainstorm, and finesse your work, ensuring you get it just right. Every week, Wednesday at 8 a.m. Sydney time, afternoon in the US and evening in the UK, we'll have a live group call. And this is where my team and I get to work directly with you, making sure we're all moving forward together. Here's what I need from you for this. Dedicate a little time to this, maybe 2 or 3 hours a week for both learning and implementing the program. Each week, dive into your next module and we'll brainstorm and fine-tune your progress and address any questions that you bring around your work. So between the private community and the weekly group call, the more you implement, the more feedback you'll get, and the more my team and I get to work with you. So it's crucial to come into this with a mindset that it's an implementation program, not just a learning one. I want to create epic case studies with you, and I'm inviting you to join our program to help make that happen. Does that make sense? Now, to make sure you're getting the most from this program from day one, you'll get a one-on-one scale session with me personally. And this is where I consult to you personally on your business growth. My strategy sessions usually start at $2,000 and then go up depending on the client. But it's so important to me that we turn you into another great case study that I will work personally with you to help you map out the right plan for your business to make sure that happens. So we'll have a look at your business through the lens of our 7-figure advice system. We'll identify what's going to be the quickest way for you to grow and scale. So you have a clear, solid plan tailored to your situation from the get-go. So you may be wondering, well, what's the investment? Well, when NatWest and other global banks and corporates engage me, they're paying tens of thousands of dollars just to have these frameworks installed without the ongoing support. But as I'm leveraging the power of video, community, an awesome team, and one-to-many teaching, I'm able to bring this to you for nowhere near what my corporate clients pay me. In fact, given the value you'll get from implementing these strategies with my team and my help, I've priced this as a total no-brainer. Now, if you apply to join this program anywhere but here today, it's going to cost you $49.90 US for the program or $17.90 a month for 3 months. But I'm offering a case study group special for you, only available on this workshop. With the case study special offer, the payment process is really simple. It's either $29.90 US in one payment, or else the 3 monthly payments of $9.90, whatever's easiest for you. And where you go to secure your place is 7figureadvisor.com/get started. We'll pop that link in the chat again, so you can just kind of click on it right now. 7figureadvisor.com, get started. So the link's in the chat area there. Perfect. Now, like all programs, this one's designed to get you a specific outcome, and there is a guarantee. We call it the Avago guarantee. So here's the thing. We're going to work together for the next 10 weeks, and the best way to ensure results is for both of us to be committed to completing the full program. Now, that being said, if at any time in the first month you decide you don't love it, you're not going to be locked in. So if you're not loving it, you're free to leave, and I'll just buy back any unused weeks that you've paid for. You know, we'll kind of revoke your access to the website, the private group. You keep the stuff, the modules that you downloaded, and that's okay. And I'll throw in an extra $10 so you can buy yourself an avocado on toast, because then you can say that one deal I ever did with Trent, at least I got an ROI on it. Okay, one rule we have is that if you leave the program early, you would need to wait 12 months before joining us again. And that's so that we can both be sure you're ready to implement these strategies before you come back. Does that make sense? Great. So here's the Facebook community where you'll be able to jump in and help each other out. And my team and I are in there every day. Now, on top of that, there are a few bonuses. Now, so here's the first one, really, really important. There's 2 tickets free tickets to the intensive. Throughout the year, we run a few seven-figure advice intensive. These are 1 or 2 day implementation fests where clients get together online for a full day or two and work through the key pieces of the system together. And I just get to jam with you personally, and my team's there to help out, and we help you build a business that can scale in a more intensive format. So these are going to be for our premium 12-month mastermind clients. But as a part of this case study program, I'd love you to join one of these as my guest, and you can bring another advisor, consultant, or expert with you, or somebody who's on your team as your free +1. So we can kind of jam together, and I can really work with you personally. So that's one of the bonuses when you join today. Then there's another one. Now, this is for the action takers who sign up on this workshop today. We have an extended group access offer where you'll get to keep working together in the Facebook group, not just for 10 weeks, but for the next 4 months. So you'll keep your access to the private community, and you can keep working, asking questions in there, and getting support from our team and myself and other members to make sure you nail the seven-figure advice system and really build a great case study for me. But to really make sure you're getting the implementation down, there's another big bonus when you join today. The live advice calls we hold every week, instead of just being on these calls for 10 weeks, when you join today, you'll be able to have access to these live calls for the next 4 months. So that's 4 months of coaching support, you and I working together. Frankly, we can get a ton done in 10 weeks, but extraordinary things can happen in 4 months. And that's what I want for you. So it's going to be epic. Now, if you want to make an even greater progress in implementing my systems and even get the strategies that I reserve for my private clients, another bonus, when you sign up on this webinar today, you'll get 60% off a 4-pack, an 8-pack, or a 12-pack of one-on-one consult calls with me. These are usually $2,000 per session. You're going to get these for only $790 for a session. Now, you can use these up to once a week, or you can spread them out to once a month, whatever suits you. We can cover a range of areas, including business model design and simplification, advice consulting offer design, positioning and pricing, one-person consulting, business model design and strategy, offer optimization, funnel design and optimization, adding profitable coaching programs to existing service businesses. All sorts of things we can cover. And it really just depends on what you need to make really fast progress. So again, there's the link to click. We're also going to put the link in the chat now where you can get my notes for this webinar, which I promised you at the beginning. So you're going to have my notes to help you go through your workbook and read through these things and remember everything we've covered. What we're going to do right now is we're going to open up for some Q&A. So if you have any questions about the offer today and how it works, or how to get the most out of me, or anything about how to scale your advice business, I'm at your service for the next little while. I'd love to help. So let's see the questions. What do we got in the chat here?